initial docket has since disappeared, suggesting there may be other forces at play in this case. The defense contended that the state had failed to present sufficient evidence to justify his continued detention and that it went to the extent of telling untruths about the Hammanskraal address. The state, however, accused Sotene of introducing new evidence to the back door in his supplementary affidavit and of concealing the business address in Hammanskraal, saying this together with his sought-after skills as a sniper demonstrate he would run if granted bail. Dimakadzo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
And Iran's chief negotiator has warned the U.S. is not to be trusted, saying Tehran will not agree to any deal with Washington unless it fully secures Iranian rights. Mohammed Bagher Ghalibaf's remarks came as reports emerged that U.S. President Donald Trump sent a tougher peace proposal back to Iran and underlined the rift that the parties still need to close. Any tweaks to the draft could further delay an agreement to formally end the Middle East war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz after weeks of fraught negotiations. Iran was already in talks with the U.S. about the fate of its nuclear program in February when the U.S. and Israel launched air and missile strikes that wiped out much of the Islamic Republic's senior leadership. And while Tehran has long insisted that its nuclear program is for purely civilian ends, Washington and its Western allies suspect it aims to develop a weapon. Gold is trading at $4,512.85 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.82 to the pound, 18.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.07 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got a major accident seen on the N3 North in the Leon Alberton area. It happened near Heidelberg Road. Delays from Leondale Road. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Earlands Interchange and Van Buren Road due to roadworks.
And in your sports, SAFA bungles Bafana's visas, the team forced to leave later than scheduled for the FIFA World Cup. Major concerns for Springbok Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu, who injured his ankle playing for the Stormers, could be out for the season. The Blitzboks finished second in Spain but stayed top of the overall standings.
A fine day in store for Gauteng this Monday. Johannesburg starting at 8 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria 9 and 22. Vereeniging 5 and 21. The top story in EWN this hour. Taxi boss Joe Ferraris Bagnoni and his co-accused have withdrawn their legal bid to block their arrests.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Abize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Five minutes after 6 o'clock, it's the start of a brand new week. It's the start of a brand new month. 1st of June, 2026. We are now into month 6 of the year. Where is it all gone? How are you doing with those resolutions, hey? I mean, this is the midway point of the year, would you say? It is? 1st of June? How are you doing with those resolutions? Mateo Haripe, you're here for business news and confessions.
You know what I'm happy about?
What are you happy about?
That I didn't tie myself up in a whole lot of things. I told Sia when the year began, I was like, oh, you're going to gym? I'll probably join you guys in June. Now, I can only start.
Now is the time.
Yes.
Amuramila, you are here to get us safely to our commute and hopefully on time. Your New Year's resolutions, how's that going?
It's going slowly but surely. We will get there. Oksala, we will get to December and will be fulfilled.
So I want to hear from those people who say, ooh, I don't tie myself to resolutions. I just do what I need to do. How's that going? Or do you think if you're committed to something and told people who would hold you accountable, you might have actually, if not started, even done it? Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072-702-1702. We're talking this SAFA debacle, this bungle, this own goal. How on earth has it happened again? I mean, do you think our football bosses actually like these players? I'm going to tell you why I asked that question. And then we'll talk military veterans, 53 million rand, and over 7,000 tablets that disappeared.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 after 6. Let's start with our first story. So on Friday, I went to, it was, I suppose, an office party, if you will. And I, as one does on a Friday, you take an e-hailing service. And I spoke to an Uber driver who promised me he'd be listening. He promised me he'd be listening today, so I hope he is listening. He first alerted me to this, and I hadn't realized. So you remember in the euphoria of the team selection last week when we were all wishing Bafana happy, the president said it'll be a public holiday on the 19th of July. He'll be there to lift the trophy, and we were all thinking, very nice, Mr. President. What I didn't realize, Mateo and Amo, you tell me if you did, was, of course, in the pre-selection, 32 names were given of players who would go. We always knew that that list would be whittled down. And the final announcement, of course, had 26 names that were announced. Now, what I did not realize was that all 32 were invited to the announcement. They were all kitted out in the Bafana, tracksuit. They have the paraphernalia. And it was in that moment, in front of the president, in front of the media, in front of the country, that 6 of them found out that they weren't going. Ganjan.
It was a very sad and weird thing to watch because the players that weren't chosen were actually not in the banquet rooms. They were watching from the windows as the other ones made their way to the stage. The likes of Tito Masangwai, Tapelo Morena, I think it was Brooklyn Bochenpoel from Durban City. The 6 players that didn't make it essentially had to watch from outside as the others took photos. And
could you not have called them individually before the thing and not brought them there?
So Coach Bruce explained this after, I think a day after the announcement of the squad, to say these guys are a unit. They've always been a unit. And we travel as a unit. So I know everybody feels it's sad and it's harsh for us to do this, but they actually congratulated the other guys. I understand why they're not going. We've made that very clear to them. But as a consolation, I think the minister is also taking them to the World Cup as well.
Is it one of those where you argue, look, football is football? How many times have you seen a player on the bench? On the bench,
yeah,
right? Sitting there minding his own business, counting sheep in his head, thinking about his children's birthday party. And the next thing, he's told to take off his tracksuit, is doing warm-ups, he's running up and down the field, and he still doesn't play. And he's not no one is substituted for that player to go in. And it may well be part of the strategy to confuse the enemy, as it were, right? That you've got this player and they think, oh, is he coming on? Is he not coming on? Do we make different plans? Do we make different strategies? It's all part of it. We don't get up in arms about it, do we?
No, because it's already on the field of play. It's already happening there. You already selected. Something can happen and you would still be needed. But this announcement was so hectic in that you thought that they were going to all be called up because, they were kitted out like you were saying. But then when the names get called out and the rest is they aren't there, they aren't on the podium, it's like how we just came here to applaud the ones that are going, but we not,
Yeah.
It really looked bad. It didn't really look good. And I wish they could have just kept them home and announce the 26th. That's
I
going.
will accept it.
Yeah.
I will accept it if, as Mateo says, the coach says these guys were spoken to. If it all happened beforehand and they knew and they weren't embarrassed, I will accept it, right? But now the latest the bungle is that SAFA didn't know you need visas
Now that's
to go to Mexico. You don't need travel documents to go overseas. Johnny. Like, they thought FIFA would sort it out? Like, how do you not know you need a visa to travel? And that's why we're asking you this morning, have you ever been turned back from the airport? I heard of a story where somebody didn't know that you can't leave the country in the last 3 months of the expiry of your passport, right? They won't. It's one thing if it expires there or that 3 months happens and you're already outside, but they won't let you leave. If you've only got 3 months left on that passport, you need to have renewed it before, right? Or if you've got one page. That can also be a reason. Have you ever been turned back from an international trip? And what was the reason. Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702. The Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Peace Mabe, well, he was hopping mad. He says heads must roll.
Well, shocking and embarrassing. It shows that the centre is not holding in SAFA. If you are tasked to do something, you need to do it with due diligence. Until it is done, you will never get any credit. The fact that they've taken us to the World Cup, but at the last moment they failed to do a simple administration issue, then it cancels everything, so we're not happy about what has transpired. And why did they keep it a secret as well? Because of you cannot also book a flight without a visa. It's a simple administration matter. They could have just used their brains and think out of the box and at least apply for all of them, because they did not know who was going to be chosen. Why did they have to wait until that? So we are not happy. There are financial implications as well, and this can also impact negatively in the minds and the spirit of the players. And I want to say to the players that do not despair. This should not dampen your spirit. Heads must definitely roll.
So they didn't know who was going, and they wanted to wait until they knew for sure who was going.
This goes to show we don't often go to the World Cup.
No, but as you just said now, a moment ago off air, this isn't our first rodeo.
No, this is not our first rodeo. And I think it's because the team manager for Bafana, Vincent Tseka, the one who made the mistake around Teboho Mokwena's yellow card,
yes,
and our World Cup qualification, there was no real punishment for
that mistake.
Yeah, for that mistake. SAFA was like, give us space, and he got away with it, and here we are today.
Yeah. We're hoping to speak to the legend himself, Max Maponyane, because I want to know what the players might be going through at a time like this. What's your view?
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Our other story that we're going to tell you about is quite unbelievable. Now, I'm a layperson, so perhaps I'll learn this lesson with you as we go along together. But when you think military veterans in South Africa, what might go through your mind? As I understand it, the military veterans were those combatants who belonged to the various liberation movements who could not, for one reason or another, be absorbed formally into the structures of the South African National Defence Force, but obviously could not be ignored. So they needed a way to look after them. At one point, I think military veterans were a smallanyana part of the entire Department of Defense. Fair, you might argue. But let's rewind the clock, right? By 1994, the liberation struggle was obviously over. The armed struggle certainly had been suspended for quite some time. There were no longer any operatives or combatants running missions fighting the apartheid state by 1994. And I would also imagine that if you could not be absorbed into the formal structures of the new military that was being formed, age might have been a factor, right? You might have been getting on in years and you weren't going to start as a fairly junior officer. So where do we put you age-wise in 1994? Again, I'm postulating here, I'm guessing. So I may learn differently as we go through this issue together. But I would imagine, conservatively speaking, you might be in your mid-30s by 1994, and therefore perhaps there isn't a place under the SANDF sun for you, which is why you become a veteran, right? So mid-30s, 35. Now add 32 years of democracy. Where might you be now? In your mid to late 60s? Then please tell me why it was, in 2022, I think it was, we spent 53 million rand on tablets, gadgets, devices, for military veterans to train them. And they're still sitting, unused in a warehouse. We're going to speak to the former Director General who was at the apex of that decision.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
And then, my way or the highway. Wait, what if you could have both? So this morning on 702 Breakfast, my way and 702 Breakfast are giving away a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers to lucky listeners throughout the show. So when you hear this song, or if you hear perhaps this song,
and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
Or this one.
Trying to do what I'm doing, but you can't. I do what I do my way. What about you? I do any and everything you want to make your girl say.
All those songs, of course, are My Way. There's Usher, there's Frank Sinatra, and there's the official My Way Insurance, My Way song. If you hear any of those throughout the show, call us at that point, not now, at that point, on 011-883 this morning, and tell us the one thing, whether work or play, you do your way. What is that one thing you will not compromise on? And you could win part of a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers. Now, isn't that a way to start a Monday morning?
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Muteo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own. Good
I
morning.
want to know this morning from you, Bongs, and the rest of the 702 landers. Do you cut ties with brands or companies that don't align with your values,
Yes.
your views?
Yes.
How do you protest? With your money? Or do you-
With my money.
You let them know that.
With my money.
Yeah.
For example, there's one pharmaceutical retailer, shall we call them, I no longer purchase anything from.
Okay.
In protest.
Amu?
Yeah, definitely with my money. And if I feel like I'm so I was vested in the products or the products that the company was providing, I'll also take it up on social media.
Okay. I'll tell you why I'm asking.
702.
Weather.
It's 20 after 6 on the 1st of June. What kind of day will you expect in Gauteng? It'll be fine. Temperatures will peak at 20 degrees in Johannesburg, 21 in Vereeniging, and 22 in Pretoria. A cloudy morning expected for Cape Town, a maximum of 19 degrees later. Mahikeng peaks at 20 degrees. Gqeberha, a warm 30 degrees. East London, 28, and Durban, 25.
EWN traffic.
Still 20 after 6. Let's have a first look at those roads. Amma, what are you seeing?
Well, Bongani,
press the button. How it works.
Unfortunately, we've got a major accident scene in Alberton along the N3 North. One, it happened near Heidelberg Road, causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Leondale Road, about a 20-minute hold up there. And then if you're traveling on the M1 North between Xavier Street and Carr Street, another accident scene between those 2 points, obviously adding on to the delays that are caused by peak time delays. So please be patient if you're traveling along the M1 North this morning. And then traffic lights are out of order in Woodmead at Woodmead Drive and Woodlands, but pointsmen are on duty there. Please be on the lookout. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. Yeah, no, this technical stuff for Bafana, no, it's not make sure. They did it in Big Brother style.
Insurance pulls you in. Pineapple pulls you under. Insurance. Pineapple. Insurance. Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bets supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Whenever she fell or got hurt, a kiss always took the pain away. Honey and hugs helped at first when the coughing started. It's just a cold. Keep her warm and she'll be fine, we thought. I wish I could kiss RSV away too. Respiratory syncytial virus is a contagious virus that can lead to serious illnesses, including lung infections. Fortunately, protection for infants against RSV is now available in South Africa. Ask your healthcare provider about keeping your baby protected during their first RSV season.
On Sunday, 26 July, the entire city unites for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk.
Walk the talk.
And because Joburg is more than just a city, we'll be walking for the people. So join us and help make a difference to homelessness in the city by entering on primemediaplus.com and donating vouchers.
Donate a voucher.
Which is a cashless way to give, helping people experiencing homelessness access a hot shower, a meal, a bed, or more support. Anybody can join and everybody can donate. 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter and donate now on primemediaplus.com.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. I'm Svido in Watema. This is happening in football all the time, in all the teams. Players are called in teams above the trust of the original squad that is actually needed to go and play. And the players know that not all of them are going to be in the squad that is going to play. It didn't start with Bruce. So people must stop this whining about Bruce being unfair to the players that have been left behind after they have been called into the team. Thank you.
Morning team, morning Bongs, morning everyone. It's Emite Panyecha from Albertine as your big listener, one of the best listener as well. Bongs, that's why on Thursday, on Friday when I was doing my clip here with you guys, I said it's painful. It's not that I'll put it as a Peterson side, but it's painful for the guys just to watch and look how they praise others when they're staying. I've been a player of Limpopo Academy. One day they were selecting is it a KFC cap or Coca-Cola? I don't remember. You know how painful it is just not to be called up to go and play while you have trained with the guys and stuff like that. I was part of one of the ones that didn't go, but to be honest with you, Bongs, it's painful. And we're not even in the hall or in the boardroom or whatsoever, but they were just choosing from the ground. So it was painful.
25 minutes after 6 o'clock, we'll speak to a former player who'll know exactly what it feels like. Marks Maponyane coming up.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
All right, when there's a new boss in town, a new sheriff in town, how well do you adjust to a new way of doing things? Tatama Chance, Tatama Millions. So from today, Sizekaya Holdings officially takes over operating South Africa's national lottery. And among the major changes will be the return of the live lottery draws. Remember Nimrod and Nkosi used to do this. Imagine they bring him back, hey? After that campaign to get him work again. Imagine they bring him back. I think I'd make a fantastic quizmaster for... Do you think I should do it, Svisa? I should audition, hey?
I think so. Also, the weakest link. I think you're the perfect candidate for
You are the weakest link. So they're introducing a cascading jackpot system which replaces the traditional rollover model. Under the new approach, if there's no winner in the top division, that jackpot will be distributed to the winners in the next division. If there are still no winners, the prize money will continue moving through the lower divisions instead of rolling over to a future draw. So I suppose that means no more big time winners. Do you think that'll make people play more? I wonder. What should have been a night of jubilation for PSG supporters. Yes, there was that game on Saturday, that little matter of a Champions League final. Listen, it went down to the wire. My heart is sore that we didn't get it. But nonetheless, congratulations to PSG supporters. But the celebrations afterwards descended into chaos across France, not just Paris. Over 200 people injured, including 57 officers, as unrest swept through the country following PSG's Champions League victory over Arsenal. I don't know why they were unhappy. You should have seen North London yesterday. Nearly 1 million people in the streets greeting Arsenal, both the female side and, of course, the men's team. A giant of South African television on this day in 2021, McDonald Mac Ndodana Matunjwa. You'll know him as Bra Mac. He passed away. He'd appeared in Home Affairs and Generations. Remember Mawanda's father, Soul City? He was in As Good As Nice as Derek. And Imogen Mashazi, the former Ekurhuleni city manager who appeared before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Remember her being combative, evasive and dismissive towards the commissioners? Well, one of the allegations she faced was this luxury trip to London on a private jet with her husband and 2 associates. The flight cost over 3.5 million rand, and for 3 days they stayed in the swankiest parts of London, splurged on top brands. Who paid for it? Mashazi would not say. It's now emerged, and thanks to reporting by News 24 and the Sunday Times, the money trail leads to a businessman who later received contracts worth millions of rands, and who was the official that oversaw those contracts? The city manager. And of course, the Madlanga Commission resumes today.
702. The newspapers.
Sisa Zulu, what's grabbing your attention in the papers?
Good morning, Bongani. Some of the big stories internationally is a story out of China where a coal mine disaster has left more than 82 people dead and 120 injured. This is a coal mining disaster in more than 15 years in the country. So investigators of the mine operator Tangu Group they say that group committed serious safety violations with reports of unregistered workers, missing tracking devices, secret tunnels, and illegal mining operations. Now, this tragedy has renewed scrutiny of China's coal industry, which has dramatically improved safety standards over the years. But now, with this coal mining disaster, questions are being asked if exactly the safety of miners is being prioritized.
What is it with the Premier and 459 million rand? Remember, that was a similar amount that was splurged, spraying empty schools when we had COVID-19, supposedly to protect learners who weren't coming to school. Gauteng Department of Education spent 459 million rand, right? Well, in an answer to the DA, he has answered the question of how much was spent on Amapanyaza. Guess how much? 459 million rand. The program, of course, has been discontinued. He was warned at the time that it was illegal. I remember doing a story on this for Carte Blanche and interviewing some of those who had been trained as Amapanyaza, and essentially almost all they were taught was to march left, right, left, right, left, right, and possibly not to shoot themselves with firearms.
EWN Business.
Muteo, you've got a question this morning. Do we protest with our feet, with our pockets, against brands that offend us? What prompts it?
Well, Bongani Discam says a very small number of customers have cancelled their scripts. This follows a social media fallout by major shareholder Mark Saltzman and seasoned journalist and media personality Reddy Klabi. Saltzman has faced intense public backlash and boycott calls after the hostile social media exchange over the Gaza conflict. During the exchange, he reportedly invoked his family's wealth. The Saltzmans obviously own Discam, and also to use the family's wealth to discredit her as well. The company emphasized that he was strictly a shareholder, held no board seat, and was an employee and had no authority to speak for the brand. Now, CEO Rui Marais says less than 0.01% of its customers have actually cancelled their scripts. Dan and Mark Saltzman are the sons of Ivan Saltzman, the founder of Discam. Last year, they were given 12.62% of individual stakes in the company, and they've sold some of those for 640 million rand. So he used that particular wealth during that exchange with Reddy Klabi to say, look, you can't touch me. I'm a certain individual. And a lot of customers felt that he had overreached and also quite offended Reddy as well, and felt that they shouldn't be spending their money with the firm.
Is that pharmaceutical also in trouble?
Yes, that pharmaceutical
Where's the
is
rand?
also in trouble. A very good day for the rand. 16 rand 20 against the US dollar currently, so doing quite well in a very, very fragile market. That's because, of course, Israel has continued bombardments even with the ceasefire. It's at 18 rand 89 against the euro, 21 rand 81 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,515 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,934. A Brent crude at exactly $93 a barrel. It is climbing this morning. More business after 7.
Let's go straight to Sfiso Zulu. More fireworks a little later, Sfiso.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry will resume public hearings today after a 2-week break. The commission has been preparing its second interim report, which has now been submitted to President Cyril Ramaphosa. And like the first interim report, this one will also be confidential. Ramaphosa told reporters over the weekend that he's pleased with the progress the commission is making in exposing the corruption within the country's criminal justice system.
And what is even pleasing with the Madlanga Commission is that people are getting identified who are involved in wrong things. They are getting suspended, they are getting arrested. So it is a self-cleansing process that we are going through. And nobody can ever say that we are targeting them with political motives or whatever.
Gauteng municipalities are expected to appear before the South African Human Rights Commission from tomorrow to report on progress in improving service delivery. There will be a sharp focus on persistent water supply challenges. Municipal officials will be required to update the Commission on their efforts to reduce water loss and infrastructure maintenance. Gauteng COGTA spokesperson Theo Nkonki says the hearings are aimed at improving accountability and ensuring residents have reliable access to basic services.
The outcomes of the South African Human Rights Commission hearings are expected to further strengthen existing interventions and support the acceleration of service delivery initiatives in municipalities, especially those experiencing water supply challenges.
In the Western Cape High Court, the state in the Nafees Modak trial has set its focus on what it says are major inconsistencies in the testimony of alleged underworld fixer Ziad Pool. Pool, who is alleged to be Modak's middleman, will be back in the witness box today to be cross-examined. He faces charges relating to allegedly assisting Modak in planning various murders, including the assassination of top officer Charles Kinnear. Carlo Peterson reports.
Prosecutors argue Poole adapted his version of events under oath, specifically around the role of the late Andre Fabing. Fabing, who died during the COVID-19 pandemic, was Modak's associate and linked to the nightclub security industry. Evidence shows Poole was paid more than 200,000 rand by a company allegedly tied to Modak's criminal network. However, Poole insists he believed he was being paid by Fabing for driving and security work. State prosecutor Greg Vormerans told the court Fabing's name only emerged during Poole's testimony. The trial continues today. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And polls have opened for parliamentary elections in Ethiopia. More than 50 million people are registered for the elections, but according to reports, voting will not take place in northern Tigray region. The Electoral Board has cited unfavorable conditions there following civil war and political turmoil between 2020 and 2022. This is the 7th election since the downfall of the military regime in 1991. 47 political parties and more than 10,000 candidates are in the race. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 5 and 9 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic, of got delays on the Markwan North. This is between Xavier Street and the Car Street exit. This is due to a major accident seen between these 2 points. There's also an accident reported on the N12 West. This is right near Tom Jones. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Snake Road.
The top story this hour, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry will resume public hearings today.
It's another girl. Yes.
Families multiply, fees shouldn't. With Ultimate Banking, you get support for every chapter. Get discounted banking for your spouse and give each of your children a head start with a Mega U account. Because as your family grows, your banking should keep up. Apply online. Your story matters. ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. ABSA is an authorized financial services provider.
Global business is changing fast. As markets become more regional, fragmented, and complex, African executives working in multinational environments need sharper strategic capability. The MPhil in Business Management, specializing in international business, offered by the Gordon Institute of Business Science, is designed for this moment. This research-driven master's program helps African leaders build the insight and capability to orchestrate and navigate international expansion, shifting regional markets and global complexity. Applications are closing soon. Visit gibbs.co.za and apply today.
When choosing a university, facts matter. WITS is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. WITS has earned its place in the ranking that matters. WITS, for good. wits.ac.za.
Coming up in the next hour, What's the Question? It's brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show. For that, you win $1,000. WhatsApp us your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. Later, someone else will ask a question to win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Candy from Lone Hill. I was turned back from the airport. I was going to Turkey and I didn't have 150 days valid in my passport. So they turned me away and they told me to go home. So my mother and I had to turn away. Turkish Airlines says only 90 days and AXA says 150. So there's a huge discrepancy between Turkish Airlines and AXA.
Yes, good morning, Bongani. Yeah, my name is Africa Sibui. One day I was flying to Swakopmund, Wevele. One of our colleagues, his passport, it was left with 3 months to expire. So he was denied to border in there because his passport was almost expired. So these things has happened and they are very strict with that. So I saw that. Thank you, Bongani.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, very good morning to you. We're talking about being turned away at the airport for any reason at all.
Yeah.
I mean, because very simply, where are Bafana players today as we speak?
Far play still.
Listening to us.
Yeah, they're in Romania. They remained here. You know that old age joke. Where are you going on holiday? Romania. So, yeah, the problem being that a couple of Bafana players and some staff didn't have their visas, and Bafana, as you know, is opening the World Cup against Mexico
in 10 days.
In 10 days' time, and as you know. Bafana had qualified for the World Cup a couple of months ago.
We know that.
And as you know, it is quite hard to get into Donald Trump's America at the moment with visas.
Yes.
But if you had you known a couple of months in advance that you had qualified for the World Cup, you could
you would
have
think
already...
You should know
yes.
to apply.
Yes. So because, as you know, and as many people have known, and I think it's a real reason why the FIFA World Cup won't be highly attended this year, the backlog of visas is something. But you would think if your team is playing at a World Cup, you might be front of the queue.
So they say, as I understand it, the reason given is that they didn't know which players would go, so they didn't know which ones to apply visas for.
So then don't you take the risk and apply for the 36?
Or speak to the coach and say, give me 40 names.
Yes, right?
Give me 40, your possible 40.
Yes. Because... And you could almost I could forgive Safa and whoever it is that was responsible for the visas. Had we not bungled it last year when we fielded an ineligible player that nearly cost us this at the World Cup. So then surely you would go, guys, that was embarrassing. That was egg on our face. We are the country's football association. We run the country's biggest sport. And then you still go and bungle it.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
You'd think it's the first time at a World Cup, or has it been that long? We don't remember how to go, how to do it.
Yeah. Maybe they've maybe they've forgotten how to travel. So then they are scheduled now to leave today. They will leave today.
They will leave. So it's all
Well,
sorted.
without their team doctor, without one of the assistant coaches and one of the team analysts who are still waiting. So the players are all ready to go, but it's just that, and the head of security,
All right.
which could be quite important. Anyway, Arsenal had their Premier League victory parade through London yesterday. And after a day after losing to PSG on penalties in the Champions League final, Liverpool have started talks with, if you missed it on the weekend, they parted ways with Arne Slot. And all the anti-Liverpool and all the Liverpool opposition are very sad that they got rid of Arne Slot. But they're speaking to Andoni Areola to take over as manager. The Reds also confirming that defender Konate will leave the club as well. Major concerns for the Springboks as Sasha Feinberg Gomezulu left the field in the Stormers game with an ankle injury. He was later seen on crutches. Here's Stormers coach Dom Dobson after the match.
Looks pretty serious, to be honest. They're obviously going for a scan. I know Doc's given me some view, but I don't think it's worthwhile quoting before he scans, but it's a proper ankle ligament, yeah. He was cramping a bit before then, and then maybe that's why he looks a bit script. I got him from behind, so you could probably work out the injury.
Stormers beat Cardiff to set up a URC semi-final with Leinster in Dublin. The Bulls will travel to face Glasgow Warriors. In Sevens rugby, Blitzboks finished second in Spain after a narrow 19-26 loss to Australia, but still stay top of the overall rankings. In tennis, 19-year-old João Fonseca's great run at the French Open continues. He beat Djokovic on Friday, and then he beat Ruud in 4 sets, 7-5, 7-6, 5-7 and 6-2. He's through to the quarterfinals.
It's more like heart, or mine. I don't know, I just try to be me on court and try to be happy, try to hit winners, try to hit good shots, so try to be entertainment, so I just try to be me, and that's what it is.
Fonseca will play Menchik. Zverev will play Jadar in the quarterfinals. The women's third seed Swiatek is out. Seventh seed Svitolina came from a set down to beat Bencic. Kirstia advances as well with the eighth seed Andreeva. And in cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore retaining their IPL title. They beat Gujarat Titans by 5 wickets. Man of the match Virat Kohli with an unbeaten 75 from 42. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Lee. I go to Florida Lamb Primary School in El Dorado Park. And I want to become a lawyer when I grow up.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
16 to 7, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. There's a crash on the M1 North. Amo, is it a bad one?
It is indeed a bad one, Bongani. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Xavier Street towards the Crown Interchange. And obviously on this route, we've got peak time delays at this time of the morning. So do anticipate about a 40-minute hold-up, especially if you're heading towards the Joburg CBD. If you are traveling on the N3 North, we've got delays between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to roadworks there. And then leaving Benoni, we've got an accident on the N12 West. It happened near Tom Jones. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Snake Road. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 47. Did I turn the iron off? Oh, the inner turmoil. Well, with the Outsurance Pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Today, standing out in the job market is more important than ever. Postnet and Huru are here to help you succeed. Did you know that many organizations require a criminal record check before hiring? From educators to retailers, drivers to lawyers and more, Postnet has you covered. From just 335 Rand, add a Huru criminal record check to your CV and stand out from the crowd. Visit your nearest Postnet today. Postnet, helping you succeed.
Smart Steve from Momentum. Hello.
Steve, you moved to Momentum. Congrats.
Thanks.
It's Tasha. Listen, the fast-paced life in Josie just isn't working for me. I'm migrating to the Cape.
What does that have to do with life insurance?
Well, you know I love a glass or three. And I want to age as graciously as a smooth Merlot, not a box of car Bordeaux.
Naturally.
And I need my critical illness cover to pair with those chill vibes.
Of course. With Momentum, you get the most comprehensive critical illness cover in the market. You could say it's a full-bodied offering.
I'll toast to that.
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongs. This is Boyazen from Tabazimbi. Morning, and to 702 listeners. When the matric results are announced, they are announced all at the same time. You don't call the learners that would have failed, give them counseling, and then prepare them for the day that you're going to announce the results. So similarly, with Bafana, some of all those players knew that they were not all going to be selected, and everyone was mentally prepared. So it can be that we falter the coach. This has been the practice for many, many years.
Bongani, Baratza is my name. With regards to the SAFA issue, traveling visa issue, I think somebody has to take a fall at SAFA. It's very, very unacceptable, because these are some of the issues, the core issues to consider when the nation is traveling, when the players are traveling. Beforehand, a month or so, check, or you should have a calendar, or more in a way, can I say, a list of countries. Whenever you are traveling, where are you required to obtain physical visas, so that you can make the necessary arrangements before the time and liaise with the concerned parties to make sure that which players you're likely to apply visas for. This is very, very much unacceptable, where else some of the hierarchy is very much involved and they didn't do anything to address it. Very, very disappointing.
Yeah, well, look, if we keep making comparisons to Bafana and even matriculants, I think we're going to see this kind of thing continue, because as long as there are consequences when this kind of thing happens, until there are consequences, I should rather say, when this kind of thing happens, we're going to see more of it. If heads don't roll, nobody gets scared. Why would they fear? What would they have to fear?
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Time now to play the Whiz Quiz. We are giving away some cash. Today's contestant is Tanisha, who is 11 years old, goes to Florida Primary School. Tanisha, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Uncle Bongani.
Tell me, Tanisha, what do you want to do with your career one day? Any idea?
I want to help people solve their cases and help them not go to prison.
You want to be a lawyer, do you?
Yes.
Can you handle tough questions?
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
I got this.
Let's see. You got this indeed. Let's start the clock. True or false? Jupiter is the largest planet on our solar system.
True.
Correct. How many angles does a circle have?
0.
Correct. Which Toy Story character says to infinity and beyond?
Buzz Light.
Correct. Which country lies on an ocean? Is it Ghana or the Central African Republic?
Ghana.
Correct. How many fingers does Minnie Mouse have on each hand?
3.
4. What do we call an elephant's long nose?
A trunk.
Correct. True or false? SAFA stands for the South African Football Association.
True.
Correct. Which one has a backbone, a dragonfly or a toad?
A toad.
Correct. Spell the word lawyer.
Lawayer.
Correct. And we've run out of time. You did really, really well there. Winning 800 Rand. Tanisha, 800 Rand, 8 correct answers. And that is what you walk away with this morning in the Whiz Quiz.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
We've got 15,000 Rand, a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers to lucky listeners that we're going to be giving out throughout the show. My way or the highway. Wait, what if you could have both? So this morning, 702 Breakfast and My Way Insurance are giving away a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers. I said when you hear one of those 3 songs, call us on 011 883 0702 and tell us the one thing, whether work or play, you do your way. What will you not compromise on? Joseph, you are in Krugersdorp. What is it that you do your way?
Hi, Bongani. To save time, my way, and to save my business time, because time is money. So I'm in a bus industry and we are manufacturing buses. So there's a process that we need to go through. It's called homologation. It takes almost 3 to 6 months to do that process, and then it tends to hinder the business progress. So now, since I'm an engineer and I'm working at the technical department, I said, look, I'm going to do this my way. So whenever we're doing a product development, by the time it runs out of production, we already started that process that takes 6 months. So when the production team gives me the product, look, we are done. And then the process of homologation is also running concurrently. So which means by then we're running 2 processes, but we're saving 6 months. So that's how I save time for my business and for my company.
I tell you what,
been working for the
tell you
past
what,
5 years.
You make a compelling story. How about 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers, courtesy of My Way Insurance? You just want 5,000. We'll save you time and of course we'll save you some fuel. Hey.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, My Way. Thank you very much, guys. I love you so much. Oh, my word.
All right, you stay on the line, Joseph. You're very welcome. 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers, courtesy of My Way. Live your way. Stay listening to 702 Breakfast. We've got more to still give away.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Oh, Danny Jordan. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with that man. Oh, the mayor wannabe. Oh, I remember when they were doing this weird ceremony that I didn't like of Bafana. He said something about the coach and Gaten McKenzie who were arguing in the dressing room. You could cut the tension with a knife. I don't know why he said that. It shows that this man has lost it. He's old.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
Well, let's continue talking about Bafana. And as we heard from Cindy Paluta, it is likely then that they will be leaving today. So all the players will eventually make it out of the country. But it is an issue worth discussing nonetheless. We've got former Bafana striker Max Maponyane on the line, and Yanga Sibembe, who is a sports journalist at Daily Maverick. Thank you both for your time this morning. Yanga, I'll start with you. This tournament begins in 10 days. We are meant to, of course, play that opening game. I mean, when I heard all of this, they didn't apply for all the visas because they didn't know all the players that might be going. I thought you've got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah, good morning, Bongani, and good morning to your listeners. Also, good morning to legendary Mr. Maponyane on the line. I think it's a ridiculous story, to be honest. It's really bizarre. And I mean, even if it was the case, we heard that besides the players that didn't get visas, some team officials also didn't get their visas, including the team doctor and the head of security. So that excuse or that reasoning probably doesn't really cover them with glory either.
Gosh, Marks, thank you for your time this morning. I mean, you've played at international level. How is it supposed to work?
Yeah, good morning to you all, Younger and Bongani. How it's supposed to work, obviously, is you've got to know what is coming up and who is or who will be part of that. And then after that being said, you say, what are the rules? What is expected where I'm going? And once you know what is expected, you have to embark on that immediately.
I mean, I mentioned, for example, and I don't know what your view of this as a player, Marks, we paraded all of the players that had been in that pre-selection list, paraded in full kit. When it was known some of them weren't going to go, I would hope that they were all informed individually, even if they were all there and I suppose in front of the glare of the cameras were told they're no longer going.
Yeah, that was very, very embarrassing. And I can feel for the players who were obviously not part of the squad, because you're sitting there and you don't know, but they know. But why are you there? And that is like pure embarrassment. And, it's humiliating for a player to just be there. And it's every player's dream. But that dream was just shattered. But not only shattered, but left you with an egg on your face.
Is it enough to say, Marks, that but now they're going to get tickets to go to watch all the games and support their mates?
Well, it's not enough, but I think they could have been at home and say, you are the backup players or you are the ones that we earmarked. We want you to see how it works, get the feel in a sense that next time when we need you, you will have a whole feel of what it's all about, but not really calling them and knowing that they're in the back room. And when you have come to your 26th player, then their names are not called.
Gosh, Yanga, I mean, we surely can't keep having these basic blunders. We very nearly didn't even qualify for this thing, and that was nothing to do with what the players did on the field.
No, definitely. I think it's a really big problem, and I think the people that are in charge of our football should really introspect and look at themselves and see that there's a pattern. It's not the first time something like this has happened. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. So it's really concerning because, as you say, we almost missed out on qualifying for the World Cup because someone forgot to count yellow cards, and that could have been really unfortunate for everyone involved, especially the players after they had done what they needed to do on the field. But beyond that, I think it's also just an issue with South African administration in general, never mind SAFA itself. But I think a lot of our federations can do better, and I think almost all of them need to sort of look inwards and
it's unbelievable. The minister is hopping mad. The deputy minister is incensed. Former players are calling for accountability. But will we get it? Appreciate your time. Max Maponyane, former Bafana striker, and Yanga Sibembe, sports journalist at the Daily Maverick.
EWN Traffic.
All right, the CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, that crash on the M1 still bad?
It is still there, Bongani, causing heavy traffic volumes between Xavier Street and Carr Street. Please be on the lookout there and expect about a 20-minute hold up. More details coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Outsurance can't improve your golf handicap, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
Up next, where are the tablets? We spent 53 million Rand on them for military veterans. We'll explain.
This is EWN.
The chief magistrates in the Joe Sibanyoni case will have to face the music, and Iran's Revolutionary Guards target American bases in latest strikes. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Questions over the collapse of taxi boss Joe Ferrari Sibanyoni's case are far from over, with the presiding chief magistrate now under investigation. The Magistrates Commission has confirmed it's looking into a complaint against Thuletu Tonjeni regarding her handling of proceedings that saw the case struck off the roll last month. Sibanyoni, multimillionaire taxi boss Bafana Sindane and two others are accused of extorting money of about 2 million rand from Mpumalanga businessman. Mongezi Koko reports.
The developments follow a dramatic few weeks in the high-profile extortion and money laundering case against Sibanyoni and his co-accused. After the matter was struck off the roll in Kwaggafontein, the NPA re-enrolled the case in Dalmas and secured warrants for the accused to appear in court. Sibanyoni and co-accused Bafana Sindane then launched an urgent High Court application to stop the execution of those warrants and the re-enrollment of the case. But the NPA says it has now received a notice confirming the application has been withdrawn. Spokesperson Kaiza Khanyago.
The NPA's position of using every legally permissible avenue to resist any litigation that seeks to militate against upholding the rule of law.
The withdrawal means the legal challenge to re-enroll has fallen away, while the criminal case itself remains on track to return to court in September. Monkey Ziko, Eyewitness News.
The Matanga Commission of Inquiry is set to continue its probe into the large consignment of cocaine stolen from police custody. In 2021, cocaine with a street value of more than 200 million rand was stolen from a Hawks storage facility in KwaZulu-Natal. The Commission has heard how procedural failures and possible police corruption could have possibly led to the theft. Commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels.
Several witnesses who have previously appeared before the Commission are due to return, including Minister Senzo Mqunu, Major General Lesetia Sinona, and EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkwanazi, amongst others. A number of new witnesses are under subpoena to appear in coming weeks.
While the Commission resumes with its hearings today, the man accused of killing a witness is expected to learn his fate today when the Brakpan Regional Court rules on his bail application. Matipandile Soteni faces 16 charges, including conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. The state has opposed his release, arguing that he's a flight risk and could interfere with witnesses. The NPA alleges that Soteni conspired with Viandre Pretorius, who later took his own life, to kill Marius van der Merwe, also known as Witness D. Demakasole Shuro reports.
During arguments in the bail application, the defense accused the state of withholding critical information and argued that Soteni was being forced to challenge a Schedule 6 case without access to the police docket. The defense also alleged that the initial docket has since disappeared, suggesting there may be other forces at play in this case. The defense contended that the state had failed to present sufficient evidence to justify his continued detention and that it went to the extent of telling untruths about the Hammanskraal address. The state, however, accused Soteni of introducing new evidence to the back door in his supplementary affidavit and of concealing the business address in Hammanskraal, saying this together with his sought-after skills as a sniper demonstrate he would run if granted bail. Dimakadzo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
And Iran's Revolutionary Guards say it has targeted a base used by U.S. military this morning. The location has not been specified in the Guard statement, which has been released on a state television. These strikes come after the U.S. Central Command struck targets in Iran over the weekend in a statement that came just minutes after Kuwait announced it was under attack. Labeling their actions as self-defense, the U.S. says it hit Iranian radar and command and control sites for drones in Koruk, Iran, and Kashim Island. It said that the attack was in response to aggressive Iranian actions, including the shooting down of a U.S. drone that was operating over international waters. The U.S. strikes mark the third time that the ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. has been violated since it was agreed in early April. The latest action comes amid a flurry of diplomatic wrangling between the Trump administration and Iran's leadership to secure a lasting ceasefire and return shipping to the Strait of Hormuz. Gold is trading at $4,512.85 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.82 to the pound, 18.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.07 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got a major accident scene in Benoni along the N12 West. It happened right near Tom Jones. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Padfontein Road. There's also queuing traffic on the R21 South in Pomona Kempton Park. That's due to another accident scene that happened near Pomona Road, causing heavy traffic volumes.
And in your sport, Bafana will leave for the World Cup today, later than scheduled after their visa was bungled. Springbok Sasha Feinberg and Gomez Zulu in doubt for the season due to an ankle injury. The Blitzboks finished second in Spain and stayed top of the overall standings. And Royal Challengers Bangalore wins the IPL again.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 8 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria 9 and 22. For Vereeniging 5 and 21. The top story in EWN this hour. Questions over the collapse of taxi boss Joe Ferrari Spagnoni's case are far from over, with the presiding chief magistrate now under investigation.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Gosh, so much in the news cycle at the moment. There are certainly questions that have been lingering since that debacle over the Joe Ferrari Spagnoni case. The presiding chief magistrate now under an investigation. Remember, the focus was initially on the prosecutor and why it is that the prosecutor was not in court that day. There was even a suggestion that the investigator wasn't there, but it turned out the investigator was present. So why was the magistrate so insistent the court case had to happen on that particular day regardless? That is certainly something we're going to be keeping an eye on. And then, of course, these allegations against Imogen Mashazi, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, I should say. You remember her being combative, evasive, even dismissive of commissioners at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry a little earlier on. One of the key allegations was regarding a trip, a jaunt to London to the tune of 3.5 million rand on a private jet from Lanseria to London. No commercial flights for Ms. Mashazi. And it's now turned out that the money for that trip, 3 days they stayed in the swankiest parts of London, splurging on top brands. Who paid for it? Mashazi has been mum on that issue. It's now emerged that a money trail leads to a businessman who later received contracts worth millions of rands, who had previously received contracts worth millions of rands, and who was overseeing those contracts? The city manager, Dr. Imogen Mashazi. And of course, she was known for being quite the fancy luxury brand queen, was she not? Remember this moment where she was boasting about what she was wearing and what it might be worth? Have a listen. Oh, you don't.
I'll start with my earrings. My earrings are from Bulgari. And the necklace as well is from Bulgari. And the bracelet is a Bulgari, same set. And then the watch is AP 2025. Eyes and dress is Dolce & Gabbana. My handbag is Katie Crop, orange. And my shoes, obviously, is Hermes.
Obviously, my shoes are Hermes. Those in the know, including the Sunday Times, there's a lovely infographic they did some weeks ago. The Bongani necklace and bracelet were valued at around 840,000 rand. So the necklace is 840,000 rand. The bracelet, 672,000 rand. The watch, priced at 1.2 million rand. The mini dress or the dress from Dolce & Gabbana at 53,000 rand. The crocodile handbag at 680,000. What do you put in it? If you had a bag with 680,000 rand,
Yeah.
what? I wouldn't put anything.
Why?
Because I'd be afraid it's gonna damage the
The bag. Then you shouldn't buy it then if you're afraid of putting
Why
things
would
in
you
it.
put 680,000 rand?
Why would you buy
Yo.
a bag that costs that much money?
The Hermes sandals, obviously, cost 14,000 rand.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
12 after 7, things you need to know at this hour. It was on this day, 1980, cable news network. 24-hour news channels were birthed with CNN because, of course, it became the first broadcaster, the world's first 24-hour news channel, and it transformed the way audiences consumed breaking news around the world. The Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today resumes. The embattled KZN Hawks head Lesetja Sinona expected to testify today. He faces allegations of sharing sensitive information with alleged crime kingpin Vusumuzi Kat Matlala. The senior police official was suspended on the 5th of March pending a disciplinary inquiry into alleged security protocol breaches and missing evidence. Tata Machans, Tata Millions, Sizekaya Holdings officially takes over operating South Africa's national lottery from today. Two giants from Hollywood celebrating their birthdays today. Morgan Freeman turns all of 89 years old. That distinctive voice alongside Brian Cox, who turns 80. You'll remember him, of course, from the series Succession. He was also in Braveheart and Troy. And finally, cancel it. They're overpriced and boring. US President Donald Trump says musical performances celebrating the country's 250th birthday on the 4th of July should be called off after several artists dropped out, citing the event's affiliation with the White House. So it's a bit of a convoluted one, but America turns 250 years old on the 4th of July. Now, there's a congressional, event organizers put together with both parties supporting it, and they're calling that America 250, America 250. Except the White House came with its own event called Freedom 250. They booked all these artists, didn't tell them it was really a Trump-sanctioned event. Now they know and they're pulling out. So Trump says, well, cancel it. So as of yesterday, only a few acts were still scheduled to perform out of 9 originally featured artists. The Commodores, Young MC, Brett Michaels have all pulled out. But Vanilla Ice and Milli Vanilla, or is it Vanilli, remain.
702. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
Right, let's check with the roads. Amma, what are you seeing at this point?
Well, Bongani, the N12 West is quite a problem. We've got heavy traffic volumes there. This is just as you leave Benoni towards Lakefield. Bumper-to-bumper traffic there due to a major accident seen near Tom Jones. Several routes within this area like Snake Road and Tom Jones are heavily backed up as a result. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N3 North bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road, roadworks are causing these delays. On the Mark 1 North, we still have got delays between Xavier Street and Empire Road in the Parktown area. Peak time delays there. There's also peak time pressure along the N1 North between Bayes Nodia Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Switching to Outsurance Business Insurance was a quick process. I saved a lot of money.
Outsurance Business Insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For boutique hotels, catering companies, and all other businesses. Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Still shopping around for a saving here and a deal there? Choose Checkers, SA's #1 in value supermarket, and save on deals like Kellogg's Cornflakes 1 kg for $76.99, Nescafe Cappuccino Sticks 10 per pack. Buy any 2 and get a third free. Save 80 Rand. And Twin Saver 2-ply white toilet rolls 24 per pack for $159.99. Save 30 Rand. Valid until 7 June. Only at Checkers.
I
I heard her interviews run smoother because she somehow finds the right people the first time around.
Yeah, it's like she already knows who fits where before they even sit down.
She must have gone for special training, like some Sixth Sense HR certificate.
No, guys, it's SA Youth, the largest youth online recruitment platform. It's fast to post, effortless to use, and effective every time.
Recruit on the portal to potential. sayouth.co.za. Powering South Africa's youth workforce.
When choosing a university, facts matter. WITS is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. WITS has earned its place in the ranking that matters. WITS, for good. WITS.ac.za.
In a world that is continuously evolving, Africa is adapting, innovating, and finding new pathways for growth. R&B Africa Focus is back for a 5th season to unpack conversations shaping the continent right now. We've got award-winning Crystal Alderson, the journalist, taking a closer look at influential economies, emerging opportunities across Africa, and insights from R&B experts and voices. It's on Tuesday on 7:02 Afternoon Drives with John Perlman. And make sure you watch the full in-depth video series and episodes featured weekly on Prime Media Plus. R&B, a leading African corporate and investment bank.
7:02.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
18 after 7, on to this now. Questions are being raised about spending on military veterans after reports emerged. The Special Investigating Unit is investigating a contract or a tender that was awarded to provide 7,000 tablets for military veterans. It's a 53 million rand tender, supposedly to upskill military veterans. But those tablets were never used and have reportedly been sitting in a warehouse for some years. So we thought we'd take 2 bites at trying to understand how this could have happened and what it actually means. We've got the former Director General of the Department of Military Defense, Irene Mpolweni. She would have been part, or at least at the apex of that decision making. But we've also invited Professor Lindy Heineken, who is a military sociologist at Stellenbosch University. And I thought I'd start with you, Prof, just to explain some of the background, because we as lay people perhaps don't always understand these things. The first question to you is, who officially is regarded as a military veteran in South Africa today?
I'm sorry, you cut out there from a brief moment, so I'm not sure if the question is directed at me.
It is directed at you. It is directed at you, Prof. Who is a military veteran in South Africa today?
All right. So when this act was deliberated, it included everyone from all sides of, let's call it the Liberation War, or what South Africans would call the Border War. So it includes statutory and non-statutory members who were involved in the war from approximately 1960 to 1994. So that is one category of a military veteran. So it's anyone involved in the Liberation War that led to our democratic transition. And then so that would also include conscripts, for example. And then members of the present SANDF who've completed their military service and have left the Defence Force would also qualify to be a military veteran.
All right, so it doesn't necessarily only apply to those who would have been combatants pre-1994.
According to the new act, when that has been the focus, that was the focus of the Military Veterans Act. But in terms of the classification of military veterans, it will also include those who have served in the military subsequent to that. And that's kind of the international norm when we look at the categorization or classification of who qualifies as a military veteran. Anyone who has been in military service and has left.
I would imagine, though, when it comes to specific benefits, there would be different tiers in terms of what people may qualify for. As you say, if somebody has been an officer in the SANDF, for example, things like their pensions and how all of those are managed as benefits, those might differ from those who were never part or were never able to be absorbed in the SANDF, but who were combatant pre-1994.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So everyone has to go under. So when there was the demobilization of military veterans, many of them qualified for a pension, and this was a very, very low pension. But there was a large category of people who were not on the certified personnel register, who claim also to have been part of the liberation struggle, that have applied to become military veterans. So the grant that you get, you're subject to a means test. And as far as I know, and I speak under incorrection, the amount allocated is pretty standard, irrespective of what rank you qualify.
All right, Prof.
But I stand to be corrected on that point.
All right, I'm going to ask you to stay on the line there because we needed that explainer as a background, if you will. We've also got, of course, the former Director General of the Department of Military Defense, Irene Mpolweni, on the line. A very good morning to you, and thank you for your time this morning. Irene, can you hear us? Irene Mpolweni, I don't know if you've muted. You may need to unmute yourself, perhaps. Are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Ah, great stuff. It's great to have you with us. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
Irene, so I understand you are no longer, of course, the Director General of the department. You have resigned since all of this was decided. I just want to make sure that that context is clear and understood. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Just take me then through what you remember about this contract and this tender. What did we need these tablets for, and who was going to use them, and why were they procured? Can you tell us some of the background to this contract?
Yes, indeed. Let me start by correcting the issue of a tender. The department never did a tender during my time. The tablets were bought through an RT15 contract, which is procurement that is done by the National Treasury. A department requests to participate on transversal contracts, and you put it in writing, and then the National Treasury will give you an answer, and they will provide you with the services that you need. At the point in time, we needed to purchase the tablets in terms of the ICT training that we were working with CETA to ensure that the military veterans are brought on board. That is a program of action of government. ICT is sitting in the Reconstruction and Recovery Plan that was launched 2020, October 15, which ensures that certain sectors are prioritized, and ICT is one of them. Infrastructure is one of them. Agriculture is there, tourism, transport, and other sectors. Therefore, we had to participate and ensure that we bring our stakeholders on board. The program was meant to ensure that the military veterans are able to participate economically. The country is on the 4th industrial revolution and currently going on artificial intelligence. Therefore, we cannot be left behind. And the military veterans were put on training.
So I get there were other programs. Just if you would, just explain to me, the thinking was that let's buy tablets for military veterans and then we're going to train them with ICT skills. That was the thinking, yeah?
The thinking behind was to ensure that the military veterans are trained, but they have the tools to be able to interact with. But furthermore, to ensure that they can be able to participate in buying airtime and doing businesses for themselves, selling airtime, selling data, selling and fixing, by the way, computers and fixing the cell phones as well.
So we got them, the idea was to then get them these tablets, things like iPads, for example. I'm not sure which brand they would have been procured. Would you know?
The tablets, yes, indeed, were procured through the RT15. And when the military veterans go on a 5-day training, they get certified and they are able to use the tools of trade. And they were expected to go out there and open up businesses of their choices, assisted by the SETA, SETA services SETA, to have containers that they can be able to sell data from and also fix cell phones, just like other people that are coming from the countries outside of South Africa.
So how many tablets did we procure?
In total, the department procured 10,000 tablets, which were meant to be dispersed across the 9 provinces. And also, we are training in terms of the Military Veterans Act, military veterans and their beneficiaries.
All right. What happened to the tablets?
The tablets are not for the public. They were for the military veterans.
Sure, but did they get them? Did the 10,000 tablets get to presumably 10,000 military veterans?
During the time I was still in the department, we managed to train 3,000 military veterans who got their tablets. It was a 5-day training, and they get a certificate. And those that are assessed to move forward and do other aspects of the training were given that opportunity. And those that could not, of course, military veterans are very in terms of the age. Those who could not move into other programs would be using the tablets, especially in terms of their information, updating the information in the department. It was crucial to ensure that the military veterans have the seamless process of updating their information in registration as a military veteran, and also in terms of accessing the benefits in the department.
So we understand the Special Investigating Unit is investigating about 7,000 of those 10,000 that were never used, that remain in warehouses still in their boxes. Were you shocked to hear?
No, my understanding is that the program was not stopped at all. The program was supposed to be progressing. If the program has stopped, it might be the issue of the skills of the people sitting in the department, because you must also understand that ICT is quite a complex program. If you don't have people to unpack the program and implement the program, the tablets, of course, will be sitting in warehouses and not being
So
used.
why did we get them in the first place?
From the AG side.
So hold on, why would we have got them in the first place if we weren't sure we had the skills to provide the training?
The people, of course, that are sitting there should be able to do the program. But at the moment, the way that the situation is, we are finding out that there's no movement on the program. There's nothing wrong with the tablets. AG have never cited any audit queries on the tablets. The only thing that they said, the tablets must be utilized because they're going to expire.
All right. When did you leave the department?
2004 February.
2004 in February, not 2024.
Yes. Yes.
2004, not 2024.
No, 2024.
Yes, that's what I would have understood too. These tablets were procured between 2021 and 2023. So all 10,000 would have been in stock, available for use by the time you left. Am I correct?
Indeed. The last training only managed to disperse about 3,000. The 7,000, to my understanding, would have already been dispersed via the training. The training was done by SETA, SITA, which is a state information technology agency.
So, okay, I just want to understand. We bought 10,000 of these things. In a period of over 3 years before you left, only 3,000 were used. The 7,000 that remained were not used. And you, of course, have since left, and you weren't sure why they might not have been used. Am I correct? Your speculation is perhaps they didn't have the sufficient skills to train them.
Correct.
All right. Appreciate your time. Irene Mpolweni is the former Director General of the Department of Defense and Military Veterans, alongside Professor Lindy Heineken, a military sociologist at Stellenbosch University. So again, the definition of military veteran, those pre-1994 combatants working, or at least part of various liberation movements, and of course, indeed, troops who might have fought on the old SADF side, those who might have fought in the war in Angola, for example, former conscripts, and then later SANDF officers who have since left the employ of the military. 10,000 tablets. If you just take a sample of the pre-1994 combatants, you're talking about people in their 60s, given 10,000 tablets, 7,000 of which they never received. They're in a warehouse because maybe we didn't have the people to train them. But there's nothing wrong with the tablets. They're still fine.
EWN Business.
Let's talk business news. Mateo, Spar, they're feeling the competition. 60% drop in profits?
Yeah, it's tight in South Africa. We have a very robust retail sector, right? And Spar has warned that its profits for the first half of 2026 are falling by as much as 60%, mainly due to heavy discounting at the firm and supply chain challenges. The retailer says it's doubled down on in-store promotions and price cuts to stay competitive in a very tough grocery market. The issue has been compounded by the low food inflation and falling prices in some categories. While the promotions have helped prop up sales in terms of volumes and support franchise stores, but they've significantly reduced earnings for Spar. The retailer also faced local logistics issues that further impacted performance. Spar has dropped underperforming international businesses, including ones in the UK, Switzerland and Poland, as part of efforts to improve long-term profitability.
How are the markets?
Markets are still quite fragile there on the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices rose this morning after Israel ordered troops to push deeper into Lebanon, renewing concerns that clashes with the Iran-backed Hezbollah group could threaten a fragile ceasefire between Washington and Tehran. Brent crude futures went up by more than 2.5% this morning to $93 a barrel. So that oil price still being affected by that push and pull there on the Strait of Hormuz.
Your indicators?
The Rand, 16 Rand 22, in a good position against the dollar this morning. 18 Rand 88 cents against the euro. 21 Rand 82 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down 0.5% at $4,518 an ounce, while platinum is up more than 1% at $1,944. Brent crude up 1.4% at $92 a barrel. More business after 8.
It once signaled the end of the Dompas, but it too has to go. Swisa Zulu, good morning.
Well, Bongani, good morning. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber says government is rapidly moving to phase out South Africa's green barcoded IDs. He says this is part of a broader crackdown on illegal migration, identity fraud and organized crime. Schreiber says the green ID book remains a major weakness in the country's security system, describing it as a key pathway used to commit identity theft and facilitate criminal activities, including smuggling. Demakazole Shuru has more.
Schreiber says the digital ID system, along with the electronic travel authorization system and the phasing out of the Green ID book, will help secure South Africa's population register and the immigration system through biometric technology.
All three of these biometrically powered systems is methodically cleaning up South Africa's population register.
Government is also expanding the ETA system, which digitally verifies foreign nationals before they enter South Africa.
The era of porous borders and weak enforcement at border posts is being replaced by a new era of accountability and technology-driven enforcement.
Schreiber says the recent drug bust demonstrates how technology-driven border security is starting to produce tangible results in the fight against transnational crime. Dimakazo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Taxi Association Qatar President Siviwe Kiva is today expected to appear in the Paarl Magistrates Court on a murder charge. Kiva was granted 30,000 rand bail in the Wynberg Magistrates Court about 2 weeks ago on a separate case. He was arrested in Engcobo in the Eastern Cape last month. Ntutuzelo Nene has more.
Qatar President Siviwe Kiva was arrested just days after his association and rival taxi body Codeta revived a peace agreement aimed at ending years of violence between the two organizations. Kiva maintains his innocence, claiming he's been framed for the murders. Carter and Codeta have a long history of violent conflict over taxi routes, with tensions between the two organizations spanning several decades. Several taxi operators have been killed in Cape Town in recent months, and Carter has previously acknowledged allegations that some of the killings may have been carried out by individuals linked to the taxi industry. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
The state in the Nafis Modak trial has set its focus on what it says are major inconsistencies in the testimony of alleged underworld fixer Ziad Pool. Pool, who is alleged to be Modak's middleman, will be back in the witness box today to be cross-examined in the Western Cape High Court. He faces charges related to allegedly assisting Modak in planning various murders, including the assassination of top officer Charles Kinnear. Carlo Peterson reports.
Prosecutors argue Pool adapted his version of events under oath, specifically around the role of the late Andre Fabing. Fabing, who died during the COVID-19 pandemic, was Modak's associate and linked to the nightclub security industry. Evidence shows Pool was paid more than 200,000 rand by a company allegedly tied to Modak's criminal network. However, Pool insists he believed he was being paid by Fabing for driving and security work. State Prosecutor Greg Vormerans told the court Fabing's name only emerged during Pool's testimony. The trial continues today. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And 5 people have died in South Korea following an explosion at an aerospace plant. The blast is believed to have happened inside the factory, leaving 2 other people injured. Hanwha Aerospace is a major South Korean defense manufacturer which produces weapons, artillery systems and aerospace components. The circumstances and extent of the damage have not yet been fully determined, and the fire has not yet completely extinguished. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 5 and 9 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic in Fourways, there's been an accident on Witkoppen Road right after Winnie Mandela Drive, causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic in Sharon Lee along Malibongwe Drive between Northumberland Avenue and the N1 while traveling in a Bellyclare, or rather along the Bellyclare Drive. Do expect heavy delays due to an accident right near Winnie Mandela Drive.
The top story this hour, Home Affairs Minister Rian Schreiber says government is rapidly moving to phase out South Africa's green barcoded IDs.
FlySafair's winter win-back has officially landed. For 60 days straight, one lucky traveller every day will win the value of their flight back. Simply book flights in June or July for travel anytime and stand to win the value of your airfare back as a FlySafair voucher. Don't just chase the sunshine, chase the win this winter. Book at flysafair.co.za and you could be getting your bucks back soon. Excludes taxes and fuel surcharges. FlySafair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
702 Josie, my Josie. Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people for the people. Sunday, 26 July. Babize bonke. This year, you can choose from 3 different inner city routes. The 15-kilometer Mandela Bridge route takes you from Ellis Park through town, up to and through Constitution Hills Precinct, down to Braamfontein and over Mandela Bridge. Then it's through Newtown, past the Market Theatre, and then back to Ellis Park. So whether you're taking on the 15, 5 or 8Ks, enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie, my Josie. Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg.
Mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up.
Oh, really?
I want to be an astronaut.
An astronaut? Aren't you aiming a little high?
Well, that's where you come in. I need you to buy me Pediasure. It has 27 vitamins and minerals to support my growth so that I hit all the milestones, and it's scientifically proven.
Okay, Miss Clever. Where can I buy Pediasure?
It's available at pharmacies and retailers in South Africa.
Pediasure by Abbott. Approved by kids to fuel their dreams.
702 family, we value what you think. We want to hear it face to face. On Friday, 5 June, we're opening our studios yet again to 702 listeners who'd like to share their thoughts on the station. Your feedback, your ideas, it all matters to us, you see. Everyone who joins us will get a full studio tour. Come and see where the magic happens, or as I like to say, how the sausage is made. If you'd like to join us, send an email to contact@702.co.za.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. TK here. I'm just listening to your interview with the former DG for SANDF. She's saying that the department didn't have the necessary skills to train those people. But when she was about to conclude the interview, she said that the training was conducted by SITA. So I'm a bit puzzled, which is which. And why would you go and procure tablets if you don't have the right people to conduct the training? So yeah, I'm a bit puzzled there.
Morning, Bongani, Charlotte in Rodeport. You know, with all due respect to the military veterans, I actually wanted to ask, at what age are they? Because did they even need this ICT training for them to go and open ICT related businesses? I mean, we are upskilling the elderly here for a very high skilled sector. Come on now. No wonder the 7,000 tablets are sitting in a warehouse. That is if they're still there and haven't been stolen. My goodness. Oh, and the 600,000 handbag, you put a 2 million rand car key in it. You killed me. And that 2 million rand car has probably also been extorted from the taxpayers' money. That's South Africa. Thank you. Great show.
Good morning, Bongani and everyone. My question is about the tablets that were bought for the military veterans. Why do you want to upskill people who have retired, people who are sitting at home? What are they going to do with that skill? Then they are not employable anymore. This was a huge waste of money. Buying tablets for a 67 years old, for them to do what? What are they going to do with that skill that they're acquiring, that you are the so-called uplifting them?
Rabons. No. Is she reading? Is this a prepared interview? It sounds like you ask a question and then she goes back to a press release. I was hopeful that now that she's not in government, we'll actually get some proper answers, but I'm seriously disappointed.
You know how you can see how the conversation happened in the room. Let's get tablets, right? Let's get tablets. We'll find military veterans. They'll start their own businesses. We'll say that the tablet has led to each one of them starting their own businesses. They'll sell airtime. You know when people convince each other of an idea and they think, yeah, it's going to really work. We can say we've upskilled. We can say we've created employment. We can say we've created business opportunities. So let's buy these tablets, put them on a course, and voila, after 5 days, there'll be entrepreneurs selling airtime. If you are in your 60s, maybe even 70s, as some of these military veterans might well be, would you, you know what if they did have the skills? What if they just couldn't find 7,000 more veterans to go on the course, eh?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Ditupa, who's in Centurion. Ditupa, please give us today's answer.
Good morning, Mr. Bingwa. How are you?
I'm very well, Ditupa. Please give us today's answer.
Today's answer is 89.
89. Thank you very much. Ditupa, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
I'm a member.
Your biscuit. 1,000 Rand is coming your way, my man. All thanks to 702 and Outsurance. And thank you for your answer. There you have it. 89, says Ditupa. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
Another Bafana bungle, Cindy Paluta, except it's not an on-field own goal.
Yeah. It just always feels like they're scoring against themselves, Bafana. But anyway, SAFA once again bungling the admin around the team. The team was supposed to leave yesterday for the World Cup, but not all players and staff had visas, so they had to wait. So after an emergency meeting yesterday, Minister of Sport Gator McKenzie then confirmed all players will leave today,
Without some of the staff, though, Bafana opens the World Cup against Mexico next week. Champions League celebrations turned into riots following PSG's victory in the Champions League. Over 780 people were arrested across Paris as rioters set fire, vandalized and looted shops. No such scenes in London yesterday, where runners-up Arsenal finally had their chance to have their Premier League victory parade. Springboks wait to hear how bad Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu's ankle injury is. He left the field in the Stormers' URC quarter-final win over Cardiff. The Stormers will travel without him to play Leinster in the semi-final. The Bulls will travel to face Glasgow Warriors. Well, the Blitzboks finished second in Spain Sevens, losing to Australia by 7 in the final. It was one forward pass at the end that cost them, but they still topped the overall table. Here's coach Philip Snyman.
We had our opportunities, but Australia was fantastic the whole weekend, and I think they used their opportunities better than us. So credit to Australia, they're a quality team, and I think they deserve to be winners tonight. The Sevens is a brutal game, and something so small can change the game, but we still had our opportunities before that. We probably played some of our best rugby on day 3, so happy to be in the final. We'll make sure we do 1 or 2 things better next weekend.
At the French Open, the women's third seed Swiatek is out, but the top 10 seeds through included Svitolina, Kirstia and Andreeva. Tonight's the anticipated 4th round match between Sabalenka and Osaka. The game will be played at night. Here's Osaka on what she's learned having played Sabalenka twice this year.
I don't know, YOLO, whatever. I feel like I played a pretty good match in Madrid. I think I just dipped in the second and third set. So hopefully just keep the consistency and keep trying to be aggressive, and whatever happens, happens.
Oh, by the way, I'm very curious to know, how are the press conferences going? Are we getting more than 15 minutes?
So you're referring to the top players doing a silent protest of saying, okay, if we're only going to get 15% of the revenue that Roland Garros gets, because the other Grand Slams and ATP Tours say 22%, then we're only going to do 15 minutes of press conferences, and they've been sticking to it.
Okay, because we spoke about this before the start of the French Open. I was curious to see how it's all unfolding.
Yeah, the players have also said they won't do any media with other media partners of Roland Garros. They will only do the official press conferences.
All right.
Right. So on
They're
the
not
men's
playing
side,
around.
it's fun. On the men's side, 19-year-old João Fonseca's great run continues. On Friday, he beat Djokovic. Yesterday, he beat Ruud in 4 sets to go to the quarterfinals, where he plays Mensich. The only top 10 seeds left are Zverev and Auger-Aliassime. And in cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore retain their IPL title. They beat Gujarat Titans by 5 wickets in yesterday's final. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
12 to 8, the EWN Traffic brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. There's always delays in Pretoria at around this time. Amma, what's the reason today?
That's correct, Bongani. It's due to the peak time delays, as well as several incidents like the accident reported on the N4 West near the Proof Plus interchange. Delays coming out of Tamboti Avenue. There's also roadworks along this route to add on to the pressure there. While traveling on the N1 south towards Linwood, queuing traffic out of the Proof Plus turnoff. If you're heading towards Centurion, do you expect heavy traffic volumes on the N14 east towards the Braakfontein interchange? An accident reported right at that turnoff, causing delays there. More updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here with keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay. It's made to look good, make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, well, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. Register now for the limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
The world's best male and female paddle players are coming to South Africa. The historic Premier Paddle Pretoria P1 will be at Sun Arena Times Square from 26 July to the 2nd of August. Expect world-class action, unbelievable energy, premium hospitality, and an atmosphere unlike anything South African sport has seen before. This is Africa's biggest paddle tournament ever, and tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to witness the sport's biggest stars in South Africa. Get your tickets now at primemediaplus.com.
Hi South Africa, I'm Michael Owen. If you appreciate world-class sport and a great occasion, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the place to be. The theme for 2026 is Country Allure, which sees the rustic style of the countryside meet the cosmopolitan cool of the city. On Saturday the 4th of July, it all comes together at Hollywood Bets Greyville. Africa's greatest horse racing and social event. I'll see you there.
Gabelo's the go-to guy for renovations. His bakkie is full of tools, ready to build dreams. But one day, a reckless driver takes him out. Now, his bakkie is standing still. No wheels, no money, Gabza. But with budget, he'd be back on site faster than you can say DIY. Don't let expensive days stop your hustle. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za for a business insurance quote today. Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance. Please tell me what's the question. If the answer is 89, let's go to Caitlin in Roodepoort. Caitlin, what's the question?
Good morning, Bongani. The question is, how old does Morgan Freeman turn today, who was born in this day in 1937?
Yes, Caitlin. And are you a member of Outsurance, Caitlin?
I've been a member for quite a long time.
My best Morgan Freeman voice. It's nowhere near the real thing, hey? Well, I tell you what, I've got 2,000 Rand in cash, and they're all very real, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Indeed, Caitlin is correct. It is the birthday of one Morgan Freeman today, who turns all of 89 years old. Tatu Morgan. Tatu Freeman.
When did you realize you had an amazing voice? Do you think that you have an amazing voice?
No.
You don't? No. It's not special to you?
No.
Wow.
Is yours?
No.
Right.
But yours is.
It's special to you. It ain't special to me.
Really? But you're the voice of God.
Please.
Morgan Freeman there on a US talk show, I think with Jimmy Fallon, saying he doesn't think there's anything special about his voice. I tell you what, it's made him quite a bit of cash over the years, special or not. Now, if your streaming service subscription was becoming too expensive, you'd switch, right? So why pay more for car insurance? Switching to Outsurance saved 32-year-old Parushka a whopping 729 Rand on her 2020 Haval H2. Get a quote now, and if Outsurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Why wait? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani. This is not making sense at all. There is a high level of youth unemployment. The military veterans are already receiving some benefits. Why are we not directing 53 million towards youth development and for them to be given skills to open own businesses, instead of taking money to the military veterans who are already old and who have done their time and who are receiving some state benefits? Not making sense.
Bongani and the team, good morning. Was listening to the Director General from the military? Every answer she contradicted herself. Every answer she tried to hide behind some pre-written statement that she did. I don't know, the incompetence is just too much nowadays. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, if you've just joined us, we were speaking to a former Director General in the Department of Defense. We also spoke to a sociologist who specializes in the military, who explained to us the distinction between military veterans from pre-1994 and those since. Many of those who are no longer in the military are regarded as military veterans, but there's a whole scheme around how they are taken care of as former members of the SANDF. But there are also those pre-1994, particularly liberation combatants, who were not absorbed into the army. And 32 years later, we're still buying iPads and tablets to try and train them to start businesses to sell airtime. And then 7,000 out of 10,000 tablets stay in a warehouse and nobody can account. Yeah, ne?
702.
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Catch up now with the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
Well, talking about training, you must look personally trained.
Yeah, this is an interesting one that a lot of people have, maybe it's rubbed some people up the wrong way. And it's I'd call it maybe a fit influencer, diet, influencer, whatever you want to call her. Her handle is the Lean Girl on TikTok and various other platforms. And she basically had a sort of a go at people who call themselves personal trainers, but do not look personally trained. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Can someone just explain something to me? How are you a personal trainer and you are personally not trained? I'm not saying you need to look like you live in the gym. Like, give me one sign that you know what you're doing over here. Because when you're demonstrating my exercises to me, I need to be looking at you thinking, yes, I also want my arms to look like that. Not looking at you thinking, this man needs a trainer.
I hesitate to say, but I know a trainer.
Yes.
So I go to at least 3 gyms. Right?
You go to at least 3 gyms.
Well, there's 3 of the same. It's not different companies. It's the same. I go to Virgin
Okay,
Active.
so there's-
Okay, let me put it
but you
out.
go to
I
different
Virgin-
branches. Okay,
yes,
got
and
you.
there's 3
Yes.
different Virgin Active. So depending on what my day looks like. So for example,
Yeah.
there's one just down the road here at Grayston. So I can go to that one. There's one near my
Yes.
neighborhood kids' school, blah, 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 fish paste.
Yes.
So I'm not pointing to any specific one so that nobody, but there is a
Yeah.
trainer at one of them. I think I look better than that trainer. I do.
And
like,
I mean,
I'm just
sure,
like,
so-
yeah.
But this is the point.
And I'm not
right?
much to look at, by the way. I'm not like Kabazel.
Well, look, I couldn't be a trainer, but the point here is, and I think she has a point, but some people are really angry about it. If you're going to be a personal trainer, you have to somehow look the part. Now, I'm not
Yes,
saying
make
you
me
need
aspire.
to be the biggest guy in the gym or the most leanest woman in the gym, but you have to have something that attracts people to you
Yes.
because that is almost like your brand, right? I mean, like, for example, if you're going to go and get a tattoo and you go to a tattoo artist that's got no tattoos, wouldn't you kind of think, this
No,
is a bit
that
strange?
I wouldn't care so much about because presumably they don't, put the tattoos on themselves. So that may not be a reflection of their skills, but a personal trainer must give me something to walk towards. I can't look better than you and you are telling me up, down, give me 5. No.
Yes.
Oh, let's put it out there.
Yes.
Let's put it
Let's
out there.
chat.
Must trainers look the part? And are there jobs where the people don't have to live up to what it is that they are selling or pushing or doing? Are there jobs where it's okay if they don't know how to do it, but they can teach it to you?
702
Feedback.
with Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda, you have to agree with me.
I
A
totally
trainer
do.
must look like a trainer.
Yeah, you should inspire me. I should want that chiseled
Bona.
six-pack, those muscles.
If you don't look the part, I don't want to even listen to you.
I mean, it's very hard to even go to the gym as just a regular person. So,
What other feedback do you have?
you got people excited this morning. I mean, you gave away My Way fuel vouchers this morning, and you're still continuing.
We gave away 1.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more.
Can't
We're
wait.
giving away a total of 15,000 Rand.
Yeah.
Right? In fuel vouchers, courtesy of My Way. If you hear this,
She likes it my way.
if you hear that song, or any song that says My Way,
Yep.
you could call us on 011 883 0702. Don't do it now. I'm just preparing you.
Exactly.
011 883 0702, and you stand the chance to win part of a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers, thanks to 702 Breakfast and My Way. We've already given one winner 5,000 Rand. All you need to do is tell us, what is that one thing you do your way? Something you will not compromise on. Sia, what do you do your way?
I exercise my own way.
Without
Zumba.
Without
I'm
trainers who don't know what they're doing.
Yes, that's how I do it my way.
All right, call us later when you hear that song on 011 883 0702. Tell us compelling stories, right? Don't tell us you make coffee your way. Be interesting. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
A parliamentary committee investigating the president meets for the first time today, and health experts encourage bone strength this World Milk Day. Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. For the first time in South Africa's democratic history, a committee established to consider impeaching a president will sit today. The 31 members are only expected to elect a chairperson during the sitting. The impeachment committee was established a week ago after the Constitutional Court last month compelled Parliament to take steps considering misconduct allegations against President Cyril Ramaphosa. This relates to the theft of more than $500,000 at the president's Palapala farm in 2020. Lindsay Dentlinga reports.
A decision by the ANC majority to vote down a 2022 report that suggested Parliament hold an impeachment inquiry is now coming back to haunt the institution. Despite President Cyril Ramaphosa last week applying for that report to be put under judicial review, Parliament will today be sticking to the instructions of the Constitutional Court and the House rules that require a committee to hold its first meeting within 5 working days of being established. However, it's not expected that the committee will get down to any serious business soon. Last week, political parties were still to submit proposals of how such a committee should conduct its business. Parliament's 2017 impeachment rules only broadly outline the process, but do not specify how an inquiry should be carried out. It's unclear whether the ANC will be scrambling to chair the committee, with some party members ostensibly reluctant to prosecute its own president. Opposition parties will no doubt be champing at the bit to nominate their own candidate to ensure the president is not shielded from full accountability. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Questions over the collapse of taxi boss Joe Ferrari Sibanyoni's case are far from over, with presiding chief magistrates now under investigation. The Magistrates Commission has confirmed it's looking into a complaint against Teletu Tonjeni regarding her handling of proceedings that saw the case struck off the roll last month. Sibanyoni, another multimillionaire taxi boss Bafana Sindane, and 2 others are accused of extorting more than 2 million rand from a Mpumalanga businessman. Mongezi Koko reports.
The developments follow a dramatic few weeks in the high-profile extortion and money laundering case against Sibanyoni and his co-accused. After the matter was struck off the roll in Kwaggafontein, the NPA re-enrolled the case in Dalmas and secured warrants for the accused to appear in court. Sibanyoni and co-accused Bafana Sindane then launched an urgent High Court application to stop the execution of those warrants and the re-enrollment of the case. But the NPA says it has now received a notice confirming the application has been withdrawn. Spokesperson Kaiser Khanyago.
The NPA's position of using every legally permissible avenue to resist any litigation that seeks to militate against upholding the rule of law.
The withdrawal means the legal challenge to re-enroll has fallen away, while the criminal case itself remains on track to return to court in September. Monkey Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
The Madala Commission of Inquiry is set to continue its probe into the large consignments of cocaine stolen from police custody. In 2021, cocaine with a street value of more than 200 million rand was stolen from a Hawks storage facility in KwaZulu-Natal. The Commission has heard how procedural failures and possible police corruption could have possibly led to the theft. Commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels.
Several witnesses who have previously appeared before the Commission are due to return, including Minister Senzo Mkhunu, Major General Lesetia Sinona, and EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkwanazi, amongst others. A number of new witnesses are under subpoena to appear in coming weeks.
And Rediscover Dairy is marking World Milk Day today by urging South Africans to return to the basics of bone health. The Consumer Education Project of Milk SA says this year's focus is on strengthening and maintaining healthy bones. It says most adults and children require only 3 to 4 servings of dairy per day, while teenagers need up to 5 servings to support health growth. The project's Christine Leeton.
Bone health is actually something we're building or losing every single day. This World Milk Day, we want to remind people the basics really do work. Dairy food, your milk, mass, yogurt and cheese give your body calcium in a form it can actually use, along with other nutrients that work together to keep bones strong.
Leeton says physical activity also adds to bone health and strength.
3 servings a day is what we recommend, and honestly it's not hard to get there. Pair that with regular weight-bearing activity like walking, dancing, taking the stairs, and some safe time in the sun for vitamin D, and you've got a really solid foundation.
Gold is trading at $4,512.85 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.82 to the pound, 18.89 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.07 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 West. That's due to an accident right near Tom Jones, are still causing heavy traffic volumes. There's also queuing traffic reported on the M1 South between the Baklu interchange and Grayston Drive.
And in your sport, Bafana will leave for the World Cup today after delayed departure due to not having visas. Springboks could be without Sasha Feinberg and Goma Zulu for the season. The Blitzboks stay top of the 7 standings despite a second-place finish in Spain. And out of the French Open went the women's 3rd seed and 4-time winner Iga Swiatek.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 and 22 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. For the first time in South Africa's democratic history, a committee established to consider impeaching a president will sit today.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock. Lots going on in the news cycle at the moment. The 31-member impeachment committee in Parliament, established last week, of course, is now going to sit. A big consideration is who is going to chair it. You can understand the reluctance of ANC MPs, but even if they were pushing for it, they no longer have the majority. All the opposition parties could club together to say no ANC member will chair this committee. The DA, as part of the GNU, is also somewhat nervous. Musi Maimane says, I'm available. Can you imagine Julius Malema being elected? Because he's part of the 31 impeachment committee. Hey? These are interesting times.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Kabazela wants to know, are there jobs for which you do not have to look the part? And what are those that you insist the person doing the job must look the part? This stems, of course, from a viral video where a lady says she just wasn't thrilled that somebody who's a personal trainer at her gym, she felt didn't look the part. I know a personal trainer who doesn't look the part, but we've had enough of that. Mateo, are there jobs you insist somebody must look the part?
Yeah, law enforcement for me. And I mean, seriously, the job that you do is very physically demanding.
I laugh because I've seen 1 or 2 officers who don't look the part, where you thought, the only way you can catch me is if you shoot me, because even I can get away from you.
I don't think you want that.
No, I mean, well, I'm not going to run away, firstly. Hopefully they're not even looking for me, right?
I also think, for me, firefighters, because just how heavy the equipment they use is. And yeah, those have been the 2 that I think people definitely need to look the part.
Amo?
I'm going to take it back to sport. I think coaches should look a certain, but I mean, look, there's somebody who once posted that I knew school sport was a scam when my coach didn't look like they could play the sport that he or she was coaching us to play. And yeah, so if you're a coach, you need to look the part, and trainer. If you're a trainer, you need to look the part.
Pandemonium in Paris and really all over France. Arrests, riots, chaos after PSG won the Champions League on Saturday. But it was all smiles and sunshine in North London. A sea of red. Nearly 1 million people, don't laugh, Matteo, nearly 1 million people showed up to honour the teams, both the women's side and, of course, the senior men's side. And I want you to listen to the legend himself, big brother in this case, Thierry Henry, reflecting on Saturday's game.
It's going to hurt for a little while, but I have to say that I'm still proud of this team and what they've done this year. But it's got to hurt. It's got to hurt because if not, how are you going to go through the fact that it's important to win the Champions League? It can't be a matter of it's okay because we won the league. You wanted to win tonight. You played against a team that have a lot of resources in terms of how they go about games, how they fight.
We didn't win, but we were peaceful over the weekend. Did you watch the game? It went down to the wire, hey, Matteo?
Yeah, it did. I really thought Arsenal had an opportunity to win that game in the first half. After scoring the first goal in the first 5 minutes, I think you go for PSG. You change the whole
defensive mode.
Yeah, because the strategy was for them to defend until the end. It worked.
There was a missed penalty that we didn't get on field.
And PSG also didn't get.
Yeah, well,
so
fair's fair.
Fair's fair.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Talking about jobs where people don't look the part, financial advisors. They'll always tell you you'll be driving a Ferrari by the end of the year. Meanwhile, he's in a Corsa. Why is he not driving that Ferrari?
Hi, Bongani. I definitely think personal trainers should look the part because you are literally the canvas of what you are selling to me. So how do I even approach you if you don't look the part? It's the same as doctors, like a GP or whatever, who are obese. To me, it's like, how are you not supposed to be selling a healthy lifestyle? Yeah, it makes no sense. Thank you. Precious from Brackman. Bye.
What other morning bongos? Yeah, just on the exact same thing. Sorry, I'm going to be off topic. Disclaimer, I'm not body shaming. But there's these business of slim tea, mkaba tea, whatever they call it. And it's very surprising that the people that are selling it or the people that are the ambassadors of these products aren't looking the part. And I'm like, but yeah, can't you just deal with your mkaba first before you can just go on media and proclaim to be selling a product that works? Have you tried it on yourself? I mean, at it, you could just literally get it for free. Yeah, so literally there's like multiple places where you would really say, but you don't look the part, so you shouldn't be selling or be advancing this type of a product.
I'm surprised you think they work. I'm here for the part where you think they should look a certain way, because in your head, mkaba tea works.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, traffic remains heavily backed up on the M1 North. In fact, a stop and go between Empire Road and Grayston Drive. This is due to peak time delays. If you're traveling on the southerly direction of this route, also expect delays between the Bakru turnoff and Grayston Drive. Heading towards Fourways, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between Rivonia Road and Winnie Mandela Drive. I'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen get the traffic flowing smoothly, because when you're late for gym class, you're rushed, so you skip the warm-up and, well, you know how that goes. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsmen easing traffic congestion for the past 20 years, everyone gets to where they need to be quickly and safely, and it's just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using #pointsmanlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
When choosing a university, facts matter. Wits is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings, out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. Wits has earned its place in the ranking that matters. Wits, for good. Wits.ac.za.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
No one gets fit overnight. It takes discipline, and your money is no different. A Nedbank 32-day notice account helps you build financial strength with up to 7.3% interest and zero maintenance fees. The higher the deposit, the higher the return. Invest in under 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. For more information, go to nedbank.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank, we're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Not every change feels like a choice. Some arrive as disruption. Shift Happens with Richard Sutton is a podcast about those moments where life moves first and you have to catch up. When certainty disappears, direction blurs, and everything familiar starts to shift. You'll hear stories from people who faced change, doubt, and pressure and found a way forward. Their stories give us confidence. Living vicariously through their experience gives us hope, and we learn from their journeys. Because what feels like an ending is often the beginning of something else. Shift Happens weekly on primemediaplus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Powered by First Light, therapeutics for the modern mind.
Big ideas don't always start in boardrooms. Sometimes they begin with frustration, a personal struggle, or a simple thought. There has to be a better way. And that's exactly what Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is all about. It's back. It's back. This year, the theme is My Pain, My Purpose, My Solution. And the idea is to celebrate entrepreneurs who have built businesses from lived experiences. So if your business was inspired by a real life challenge, well, here's your opportunity to take it even further. Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is looking for small businesses solving real problems. You could win 200,000 Rand in cash, plus mentorship, strategic support, and growth tools to help you scale your business sustainably. We've also, of course, got the help of our mentor, Thuli Makubane, and Nedbank's team. You'll gain valuable tools and insights to help your business grow sustainably. Entries are now open at primemediaplus.com or igniteyourbusiness.co.za. T's and C's apply. Nedbank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. And in that vein, Thuli Makubane, director of Mint Fresh, our mentor, is here with us in the studio. Gosh, it's another year. You blink and you've missed it.
Morning, Bongani, and good morning to the listeners.
I mean, this year's theme, I think, is particularly important. My pain, my purpose, my solution. The most successful businesses are those that seek to solve a problem.
Most definitely. And we've come across a lot of entrepreneurs, even in the past years, that have encountered some kind of challenge or problem and thought, there isn't a solution out there, so they take it upon themselves to devise the solution. And if you recall, there was a lady who started a pet travel company because she couldn't travel with her pets, and they needed a solution around that. So there are many businesses out there that I think we're going to find where people have some really interesting stories.
Over the years, where somebody thought there has to be a better way. Like, I can't be the only one who is going through this. And boom, a gap was identified.
Most definitely. And if you recall last year, remember our pap maker?
Yes, yes.
The guy who loves pap but couldn't cook the pap. So he thought, there's a machine for everything. Why is there?
Why can't I make one?
Yes.
And now you can buy his pap machine at the major retailers that sell it. It's quite incredible.
Yeah.
All right, how important is it that a campaign like Nedbank Business Ignite for small businesses, how important is it that a campaign like that, as I say, recognizes not only entrepreneurs, but people who solve problems? And I'm thinking in the lines of sustainability and going the distance.
It is important because being an entrepreneur can be a lonely journey. You go through a lot of challenges, and when you do have those victories, there's no one to recognize you. And this competition definitely does that to recognize the good that the entrepreneurs have done, their achievements. And what we're doing differently this year, we actually decided to touch base with our past winners. We shot a vodcast, and people can go and actually watch those and actually catch up with our past winners to find out what they've done since winning the competition. And I can tell you, I mean, my mind was blown in terms of what these guys have achieved. Yes.
What do you say to that small business owner who says, I've got a great idea, I've started executing it, it may not be going as well as I thought it would, but I know this is a winning idea, but they're nervous to enter because they think all sorts of boxes must be ticked?
So if you have been running your business for some time, maybe a year or more, and it did stem from a challenge or problem that you had, we want you to enter, And if you've received some traction, because as you said, the problem mustn't be only yours, there must be other people who needed the solution as well. So if you can prove that you had the problem, other people need it, and you've actually made money solving that particular problem, we definitely want to hear from you.
Give us the cheat sheet. What's that one thing, what's that X factor the judges look for every year? Whatever the theme, there's always that sparkle that makes you go, ooh, who's this?
So as we do every year, we always look for something that is not run of the mill. I mean, you get a lot of the run of the mill businesses, and I think the ones that have stood out are the ones that have found a niche in whatever they're doing. So if you have a niche, it's very, very exciting for us, and you may stand out as a finalist.
All right, entries are open. You can go to primemediaplus.com to enter for your business, or you can also go to igniteyourbusiness.co.za. I'm so looking forward to the stories. I think this is one of the most exciting times of the year when you see the light and the passion and the fire in the belly of these entrepreneurs
it's
who
always
want to do
exciting.
amazing things.
Yeah, no, it's definitely exciting. And I guess I get nervous at the start of the campaign because, like, for the past 3 years, we've had such excellent businesses. So you get nervous. How are you going to find those gems this year?
I think we will. I think every year gets better. Tulima Kobane, appreciate you. Director of Mint Fresh, our business mentor for Nedbank Business Ignite.
702. The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
All right, let's catch up with football news, if nothing else. Adam Gilchrist, we didn't win the Champions League, but North London was quite peaceful.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, really? So Paris Saint-Germain, who did win the Champions League final on Saturday night against Arsenal, has seen a riot on the streets of Paris for the second year running. Bearing in mind, they also won it last year. So 200 plus people injured, 8 in a serious condition, 57 police officers were injured, nearly 800 people arrested, half of them, I gather, still in police custody. They then mobilized for another victory parade at the Eiffel Tower, all of that after success. And yet in North London, after, success in the Premier League, which is what they were actually celebrating, but defeat the night before, there were, they think, as many as 1 million people on the streets of North London to see the Arsenal open-top bus parade. They may not all have been gooners, but they were certainly there flying flags and climbing lampposts. Actually, 75 people had to be rescued from climbing lampposts and ledges and things like that because they'd gone up and couldn't get down again, and the fire brigade had to come along and get them. There were 16 arrests as well, but 16 out of 1 million. It's weird, isn't it, how defeating the Champions League final seems to absolutely made Arsenal a success story, and victory has made Paris Saint-Germain the exact opposite. Weird.
How ironic. Let's go now to, I want to say, almost a real war, but I mean, it's not quite physical. It's a war of words, isn't it?
It is at the moment. Let's hope it stays like that. We've got Japan versus China, who, of course, has been at each other since the 13th century. I looked this up. They started invading each other, what are we talking, 800 plus years ago. Japan's defense minister recently rebutted Beijing's claim that Tokyo is engaging in a new militarism. Indeed, Shinjiro Koizumi argued it's China that's engaged in militarism and has a huge arsenal of weapons of serious concern. maybe there's a bit of both going on here. But interesting that China's National Defense Ministry warned, I love this quote, the grey rhino of a remilitarized Japan is gathering speed. Of course, that is looking back over the shoulder at centuries of antagonism and worse between the two countries. But a grey rhino of remilitarization. I had never thought that the poor old rhino would get kind of blamed for that stuff. Japan has steadily been increasing its defense budget. China is spending like crazy on its defense budget. Let's hope they just remain with the Sea of Japan between them, eh?
Yeah, indeed. And Adam, Donald Trump, the US president, is so fit. He could be an elite athlete.
That's what he says. His doctor actually has also given him a thumbs up. So it's weird how once upon a time we never knew about the president's health, just that they had an annual fitness. I guess they needed to check that there were no STDs for Bill Clinton and other things. But most American presidents, they get their... They get their health check and then they move on. But in the case of Donald Trump, we know that he's undergone 22 specialist checks, and Dr. Sean Barbabella says he has passed them all. So CT scan, other heart screenings, cancer screenings, lung assessments, you name it. But the one that Donald Trump is most proud of, and he is telling the world, is that he got a perfect score in the, as he put it, difficult cognitive test. 30 out of 30, says the American president. His fourth perfect score in a row. And very rare, says the modest Mr. Trump. Well, a CNN medical expert, Dr. Jonathan Reiner, says, well, what he thinks is actually going on is that this is probably the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, which is actually a screening for dementia and cognitive impairment. So maybe it's good that he's passing it, but why have they carried out 4 checks on Donald Trump in 2 years? Is there somebody in the White House thinking that maybe all is not well upstairs?
I don't think it's just people in the White House, Adam. I think around the world, there may be one or two more who wonder. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Traffic.
All right, 27 after 8, the EWN Traffic brought to you by GWM, class-leading vehicles that help you navigate your journey. What's the latest on your side, Amo?
Well, Bongani, we still have got heavy traffic volumes on the N12 West. This is now heading towards the Boksburg area. That's due to an earlier accident. Delays towards Tom Jones, so please be on the lookout there while traveling on the N3 North, queuing traffic between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. More updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Another fuel hike means more adjustments, like using every loyalty point just to get by.
Okay, use the points first, then this voucher. Wait, I have a coupon on Mac for the bread. And then I'll swipe the remaining R2, please.
Don't let the fuel hikes restrict you. Get 5,000 Rand for fuel when you buy any GWM vehicle this month. Visit your nearest dealership or go to gwm.co.za to book a test drive. T's and C's apply. GWM. Go with more.
EWN Business.
So, Hwaripa 28 after 8. Hello, fish. When did you come out of the tin? What if you never entered? What am I talking about?
Packaging, Bongani. Packaging Group Nampak are reporting a 1% drop in revenue to 5.6 billion rand. This is for the 6 months ending in March, while trading profit fell by 14%. One of the biggest challenges was a sharp decline in South Africa's fish canning industry, which reduced demand for Nampak's specialized food cans. Tough consumer spending conditions also weighed on the company's performance. Now, Nampak provides packaging for Oceania's Lucky Star fish, which has struggled with fish stock for the popular affordable protein. The company has reduced its debt levels and says improvements in its beverage can business in South Africa, along with a stable growth in Angola, has helped the company boost the business. And Nampak also provides packaging for beverage brands like Castle Light.
So whilst everyone else struggles, China's manufacturing activity continues to expand.
Yeah, it's a difficult period for manufacturers given what's happening logistically with the Strait of Hormuz. China's manufacturing activity expanding faster than expected in May, although growth slowed a little bit from the previous month. The Rating Dog China General Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, compiled by S&P Global, came in at 51.8, a tough a touch above the 51.6% expected in the Reuters poll. Now, any number above 50 is seen as expansion, and any number below 50 is seen as a contraction. So currently in China, things looking up in terms of output.
Where's the rand?
The rand is also good against the dollar this morning, 16 Rand 22 against the US dollar, 18 Rand 90 against the euro, and 21 Rand 83 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is down 0.5% this morning, $4,517 an ounce, while platinum is stronger at $1,946 an ounce. Brent crude going up close to 2% now, those oil prices at $93 a barrel. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotes with more this afternoon.
Time exactly 8:30. Let's go straight to the news desk. And of course, coming up, we're going to tell you about a fantastic new production. It's part of Youth Month, but it also focuses on an oft untold story of the struggle. In the meantime, Sfisa Zulu, what you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The DA says it will lay criminal charges against former disgraced Ekurhuleni city manager Imogen Mashazi today. Mashazi is accused of benefiting from a luxury trip in 2022 to London, allegedly funded through companies that have business dealings with the Metro. Mashazi appeared at the Madlanga Commission a few months ago, where she responded to allegations of abusing her power and failing to take action against senior officials accused of misconduct. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber says government is rapidly moving to phase out South Africa's green barcoded IDs. He says this is part of a broader crackdown on illegal migration, identity fraud and organized crime. Schreiber says the green ID book remains a major weakness in South Africa's security system, describing it as a key pathway used to commit identity theft and facilitate criminal activities, including smuggling. Demakasoli Shuru has more.
Schreiber says the digital ID system, along with the electronic travel authorization system and the phasing out of the Green ID book, will help secure South Africa's population register and the immigration system through biometric technology.
All three of these biometrically powered systems is methodically cleaning up South Africa's population register.
Government is also expanding the ETA system, which digitally verifies foreign nationals before they enter South Africa.
The era of porous borders and weak enforcement at border posts is being replaced by a new era of accountability and technology-driven enforcement.
Schreiber says the recent drug bust demonstrates how technology-driven border security is starting to produce tangible results in the fight against transnational crime. Dimakazo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Taxi Association Qatar President Siviwe Kiva is today expected to appear in the Paarl Magistrates Court on a murder charge. Kiva was granted 30,000 Rand bail in the Wynberg Magistrates Court about 2 weeks ago on a separate case. He was arrested in Engcobo in the Eastern Cape last month. Ntutuzelo Nene reports.
Qatar President Siviwe Kiva was arrested just days after his association and rival taxi body Codeta revived a peace agreement aimed at ending years of violence between the two organizations. Kiva maintains his innocence, claiming he's been framed for the murders. Qatar and Codeta have a long history of violent conflict over taxi routes, with tensions between the two organizations spanning several decades. Several taxi operators have been killed in Cape Town in recent months, and Qatar has previously acknowledged allegations that some of the killings may have been carried out by individuals linked to the taxi industry. Ndutuzalo Nene, Eyewitness News.
And Brazil is monitoring 2 patients for possible Ebola infection. The pair have been put in isolation after showing symptoms of the virus, although one later tested negative. And according to reports, one man aged 37 traveled to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the outbreak has been concentrated. He exhibited symptoms such as fever, which authorities say meets the definition of a suspected case. The other man was placed in isolation in Rio de Janeiro after arriving from Uganda late last month. The BBC is reporting that the test results for both patients should become available next week. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 20 and 22 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 South. This is between Modderfontein Road and the Kilulis interchange. There's roadworks along this route causing these delays. More roadworks are causing delays on the N3 North between the Elands interchange and Van Buren Road. Otherwise, traveling in Randburg on the N1 North, there's been an accident right near Malibongwe Drive causing delays.
The top story this hour, the DA says it will lay criminal charges against former disgraced Ekurhuleni City manager Imogen Mashazi.
Let's hear from Chantal and Mel, owners of Jelly Body and Nail Studio, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
We were with our previous insurer for about 4 years, and when we decided to switch, it was actually a flawless process. It definitely pays to switch.
For beauty salons, convenience stores, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra presents the Winter Symphony Season, featuring performances by international artists and well-loved South African musicians. Programs include masterpieces by Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Mendelssohn, and more. The season runs from 4 June until 25 June every Thursday evening at the Linda Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. These superb concerts are not to be missed. Season and single concert tickets available through Quicket or jpo.co.za.
Have you ever heard the earth breathe? In Zambia, the mighty Musi Watunya, the smoke that thunders, rises in spectacular display at Victoria Falls. Stand in awe, feel the mist, witness one of the world's greatest natural wonders. But Zambia is more than a destination. It's untamed wildlife and people whose smiles feel like home. Zambia, let's explore. Plan your journey at www.zambia.travel.
702's Small Business Focus, powered by Capitec, shines a spotlight on the drive, passion, and dedication behind every successful small business.
Starting your own business and being an entrepreneur is something we need to shift how we think about it and almost treat it the same way as we do other careers. Right from the beginning, make it part of the building blocks in terms of what are your options in life as a young person. You can become an engineer, a chartered accountant, or you can become an entrepreneur, because once you plant that seed, the next natural question is, what does it take? What do I need to do? And then if you follow that on, I think as a society, as business, we have a huge role to play in actually cultivating and developing that muscle.
Every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. Catch the Small Business Focus on 702 and bank on better business banking with Capitec. Capitec is an authorized FSP. 46669.
702. WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hey Bongs, Anonymous here in Joburg. Dietitians, definitely dietitians.
Hello Bongani, the best hairdressers and nail technicians have the worst looking nails and hairstyles. So they're the only ones who are allowed to get away with murder. Yeah, Mpo from Paul's office.
Good morning, Bongani and team. Daniel Nixon here from Tukumsras. Bongani, the job that you definitely have to look the part is being an athletics coach. For example, I am a coach for Tukumsras Athletic Club, and I've been an athlete as well, a top runner before. I'm coaching track and field, cross country, as well as road running. So you have to be able to show the athlete what to do when you actually teaching these athletes, especially the youngsters that doesn't know how to run at all. You should be able to, demonstrate the sprintings, and even your top runners, you have to be able to run next to them and show them what to do exactly. So athletics for me is the one that you have to look the part as well. Daniel Nixon here from Tukumsras.
Oh, Bongani, talk about jobs and people that are supposed to be experts. I once visited a dentist, and I couldn't stand that dentist working on my mouth because the odor coming from their own mouth was choking me. I mean, how do you take care of my mouth when your mouth smells like that? Murphy here from Randburg.
Murphy, you know they'll know it's you. They'll know who they are, won't they? Anonymous says people promising jobs to potential voters in election campaigns should themselves be employed. If you've just joined us, we're talking about a viral video of a lady who's complaining about personal trainers who don't look like they are personal trainers. Cindy Paluta, I love your take on this.
Yeah, so I saw this video and I thought, okay, cool, each to their own. This is what makes the world a beautiful place, is that different people have different styles for what they want to go to, right? For me personally, do not believe that a personal trainer has to look the part. I would rather go to a woman, firstly, in her over the age of 45 personally, who's lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and gone through a whole lot of different changes throughout her life, because I feel she would be better understanding. Because I'll tell you now, the reason I've gone through so many personal trainers and will refuse to have one right now is because I don't believe that they can relate to where you are at specific times of the month as a woman. There are times where it literally, physically, mentally, everything takes a lot just to get to the gym. And then they're like, come on, you can do 20 more. And I'm like, I'll punch you in the face 20 more times. And it's just so frustrating. So for me, personally, I have more respect and appreciate, because no offense to personal trainers out there. I love you all. I've got
You're
lots
all
of
amazing.
friends who are personal trainers. You're amazing. But when you're in your 20s and you have a six-pack and you're telling me how to now exercise, train, work out, I don't believe you can relate to where I am in my life. So for me, maybe, and that's why. And yesterday we had a family gathering, and a 30-year-old man came up to me and said, "You are wrong. You are wrong. I heard you on the radio, and a personal trainer must be buff." And I said, and I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, "You are right, as am I right. And you can go to a 30-year-old man who's got a six-pack for your training, and I'll go to the overweight person who's gone through life for my training. And that way everybody has a job and everybody works out for the person that suits them."
I think you've put a really good spin on it.
EWN Sport.
All right, we are at least leaving.
Fingers crossed.
We are going.
Fingers crossed. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
Bafana will leave for Mexico tonight, a day later than originally scheduled. They couldn't leave yesterday as not all players and staff had visas. Bafana opens the World Cup against Mexico next week. Springbok Sasha Feinberger Gomazulu's in doubt for the season after injuring his ankle in the Stormers' URC win over Cardiff. It'll be a big one. Stormers coach John Dobson spoke after the game.
It looks pretty serious, to be honest. They're obviously going for a scan. I know Doc's given me some view, but I don't think it's worthwhile quoting before he scans, but it's a proper ankle ligament, yeah. He was cramping a bit before then, and then maybe that's why he looks a bit script. I got him from behind, so you could probably work out the injury.
Stormers will travel to play Leinster in the semi-final. The Bulls will travel to face Glasgow Warriors. Blitzboks stayed top of the Sevens standings despite losing to Australia 26-19 in the Spain Sevens final. The women's Sevens team finished 9th after beating Brazil 19-12. At the French Open today, for the first time in 3 years, the women's game will be played at night, and it's the highly anticipated fourth-round game between Sabalenka and Osaka. Here's Osaka and what she's learned from her last game against the world number one.
I don't know, YOLO, whatever. I feel like I played a pretty good match in Madrid. I think I just dipped in the second and third set, so hopefully just keep the consistency and keep trying to be aggressive, and whatever happens, happens.
Yesterday, the third seed Swiatek was knocked out. Only 3 of the men's top 10 seeds are left. Zverev, who cruised the quarterfinals. Today, the 4th seed Auger Sim against Tabello, the 10th seed Kaboli against Vaida. Yesterday, 19-year-old João Fonseca beat Casper Ruud in 4 sets. In cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore retained their IPL title. They beat Gujarat Titans by 5 wickets in the final. And the MotoGP Championship leader Marco Bezzecchi won the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello to go 17 points clear of Martin in the standings. Martin was second with Bagnaia third. Brad Binder finished 11th. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
She likes it my way.
EWN Traffic.
17 to 9. Let's catch up with the roads. It's been a busy Monday morning. Busy start to the week. Busy start to the month.
Oh, that's correct, Bongani. If you are traveling in Edenville, we've got an accident along Edenville Road right near the R24 exit. It's causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic, in fact, bumper-to-bumper traffic along the N12 and the R24 West. This is just as you approach the Kirulis interchange. And then traveling on the M1 South, delays between the Baku turnoff and Marlborough Drive, and heading towards the city of Tshwane. Do expect delays on the N14 East approaching the Brockfontein interchange. More updates at the top of the hour. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 family, we do value what you think. We want to hear all about it face to face. So this Friday, the 5th of June, we're opening our studios yet again to 702 listeners who'd like to share their thoughts on the station. Your feedback, your ideas, it all matters to us. And everyone who joins us will get a full studio tour. Come and see where the magic happens. You might even get a handshake or a selfie with Clement Manyatela. If you'd like to join us, send an email to contact@702.co.za.
The beeping machines, the hospital smells, the moments of fear. And all that remains is what matters most.
Dad's home!
Because recovery isn't about the procedure or the paperwork. It's about getting back to the people and places that matter to you. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. Voted #1 medical aid in the Ask Africa Orange Index Awards for the 2nd year running. Visit bonitas.co.za and find your plan.
FlySafair's winter win back is heating up, with so many travelers already winning the value of their flights back. And you could be next. Simply book flights in June or July and stand to win the value of your airfare back as a FlySafair voucher. Lock in that mid-year break, and your bucks might be coming right back to you soon for your next escape. Book at flysafair.co.za. Excludes taxes and fuel surcharges. FlySafair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Doing your famous through meetings, in traffic, at the store. Don't let seasonal hay fever get in the way of a better you. Unite against allergies with Demazin once a day, providing 24-hour non-sedating relief from symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing, and itchy red eyes. Demazin gets it done. Speak to your pharmacist today about Demazin once a day.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
So your group revenue was actually up by 9%, your retail revenue up by 9% as well. Are you happy with that growth?
I'm very happy with the growth. I think that growth generated strong market share gains for us on the back of our launch of Better Rewards. And Better Rewards as a program is so intrinsically linked to kind of our purpose, which is to reduce the cost of care, through mechanisms such as a reward program. So very pleased with the top line growth.
Roy Maresh, the CEO at Dischem.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by Absa Business Banking, featuring the AgriTrends 2026 Autumn Edition. In agriculture, smart moves need smart insights. Get the latest AgriTrends report at absaagritrends.co.za. Absa is a registered FSP.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
13 minutes before the start of the Clement Manyatela Show, and the great man himself is in the studio with us this morning. Don't ask me how I am. I'm fine.
Don't also ask me.
What's on the show today?
Coming up on... How are you, listeners? I hope you're well, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'll ask you. But coming up on the show today, we're going to start with the 702 open line. So the impeachment committee is meeting today. They're going to elect the chair. Who should the chairperson of the impeachment committee be? Because you want someone fair, someone a little objective, someone who is more mature. Who would it be? I don't think Julius Malema would take it because it's too demanding. And Julius wants to have the option of coming and not coming to the committee depending on what's happening on the day. Maybe
I think he'd take this one a little seriously.
In an election year?
He's probing would be something I'd like to see, which I suppose as a committee member he'll get a chance to do anyway.
Gets the chance, yeah.
Dr. Maimane to you.
Dr. Musi Maimane, indeed. So maybe he is the one that they would go for. He apparently has been approached by some members of parliament. So I want to ask the listeners this morning who they think should be elected the chair of this impeachment committee and why, because this is going to be important. Also, on the 702 Open Line, we'll chat about the Madlanga Commission. Would you support a decision to extend the mandate of the Madlanga Commission?
Absolutely. Given the speed with which they've worked to deal with these things. Absolutely. I mean, we've watched so many commissions and we still don't have a lot of action on many of them. And you've seen the speed and the turnaround and in a way, this becomes the template going forward, right? Because I good luck to the next chair who doesn't give us these kinds of results.
Yeah, good luck to them. So I really would support that too. So that's another conversation we're going to have on the open line. At 10:32, we're going to start a new series looking at Johannesburg entities. We don't often talk about or understand all the agencies of the different metros. So we'll look at Johannesburg today because they are quite key in the delivery of services. Today we start by looking at the Joburg City Parks and Zoo, and then we wrap up the show at 11 o'clock with our Family Matters feature. Today we're discussing how to navigate the grief that comes with adult friendships.
And if you are watching our YouTube page, one of the things we must discuss one of these days, Clement, is better fitting shirts. Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
A big shirt. You can check out our YouTube page. Clement Manyatela is wearing a big shirt. My way or the highway? Wait, what if you could have both? This morning, 702 Breakfast and My Way Insurance are giving away a total of 15,000 Rand in fuel vouchers to lucky listeners throughout the show. And it's very simple. It's very, very simple. We want to know from you, what is that one thing you insist on doing your way? What will you not compromise on? And we said as soon as you hear that song, you call us on 011 883 0702 and tell us what it is that you do your way. Let's go to Xoli in Alberton. Xoli, are you there? Oh, doesn't seem like Xoli is there. How about Buhlale? Buhlale, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Tell us, what is it you do your way?
I cook my bella thingy my way. I ferment it. After fermenting, while I cook it, I put in vinegar. And after that's done, I put in amasi just to make it extra sour. So I make it my way.
And do people love it?
Oh, I love it.
And that's enough, right?
Yeah.
5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers. All thanks to 702 Breakfast and My Way. How's that?
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you so much.
You can go your way. Hey, Buhlale?
Yeah, I'm going my way.
Thanks to My Way. Thank you for that. We're looking for those interesting stories, things you do your way. Is it Kristen in Sandton? What do you do your way?
Hi, Bongani. It's Christine. So my little toddler is going through a little journey right now of not wanting to eat his food, but he's also learning how to spell his name. So what I've gone ahead and done is every single day, I print out or basically pop out letters into his sandwiches that help spell his name. So it's all the letters with his sandwiches, plus it gets him to eat his food in an exciting way. It is a complete hit where now the parents want to know, where did I get the cutouts from? So it's really working out for My Way.
Christine, how about 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers to you?
That's awesome.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
to My Way. Live your way. Congratulations, both of you, winning 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers courtesy of My Way. Live your way. Stay listening to 702 Breakfast all week. We're giving away a total of 15,000 Rand worth of fuel vouchers every single day.
We could tell you we are the best bank in Africa, but if you're a CEO or CFO looking to grow, you're probably more interested in the numbers. Like the fact that our systems process $9 trillion every year. That's around 45 times the value of all intra-Africa trade. And that our custody network safeguards 17.7 trillion Rand in assets. Those are big numbers. And a big reason to grow with us. Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Get ready for a bigger and better Lotto National Lottery. This Tuesday, you have a chance to win a massive estimated 226 million rand total Powerball jackpot. That's 226 million rand. That could change your life instantly. Watch it live Tuesday, 2nd of June at 9 p.m. You could become South Africa's next multi-millionaire. Yes, you. The National Lottery, mo plays, mo chances, mo millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizek Haya.
When choosing a university, facts matter. Wits is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. Wits has earned its place in the ranking that matters. Wits, for good. Wits.ac.za.
Mzansi, Take-A-Lot's senior cards, and boy have you been shopping. To say thank you for all your support, we're bringing you the Thanks a Lot sale. Get up to 60% off must-have beauty, sports gear, latest tech, TV and appliances, everyday essentials, toys and more. To know you is to spoil you. Shop the Take-A-Lot Thanks a Lot sale from 25 May to 7 June.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
As South Africa marks Youth Month, reflecting on the legacy of those who fought for freedom, a powerful production is returning to Johannesburg for a limited run. Nkoli, A Fierce and Fabulous Life, telling the remarkable story of Simon Nkoli.
42 hours right on my legs and my thighs. Recently knew what shot for court, everyone stares at me.
It's the remarkable story of the anti-apartheid activist and LGBTQ plus pioneer who challenged justice or injustice in all its forms. And it's not a story that is often told, but following an acclaimed run at the Market Theatre and the Bax Theatre, it's returning now to Johannesburg before heading to Europe, to Germany specifically, for its European premiere. Philip Miller is the creator and composer of Nkoli, A Fierce and Fabulous Life. Philip, a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks
good
so
morning,
much,
firstly, yeah.
Good morning. Thanks so much, and good morning to your listeners as well.
I said earlier on the show that this is not a story that is often told, and yet Simon Nkoli's story is so pivotal, not only to the struggle, but to what came after.
That's right. I mean, the amazing thing is we should be celebrating him as an icon because he was an extraordinary activist, actually a wonderful human being, and an incredibly important figure in terms of really gaining human rights. And he's actually, in some ways, he is a role model still for us today, and particularly because it's Youth Month. I think the importance of rights of gender and rights of LGBT plus are so still, in some ways still under threat, and not just in the rest of Africa, in Europe, in fact. And we have to really fight to keep our rights, which are extraordinary in that we have these rights and other rights, but actually also, make sure that we protect them.
Simon Nkoli, of course, an anti-apartheid activist who also happened to be an openly gay man at a time when it wasn't fashionable to do so. And in a way, you could argue he was fighting more than one struggle.
Absolutely. I mean, he really was looking at, of course, he was, when he was in jail during the Delmas treason trial, he was fighting, of course, for the end of apartheid. He was really an important comrade together with, the likes of Popo Molefe or Terra Lakota. So he was both fighting for the end of apartheid and the end of racism. But then he saw those rights as part of a bigger collective of rights. And so I suppose today when we talk about things like intersectionality, Simon was doing this in the 80s and the 90s and making that important connection.
Now, what I love about this is, of course, there is the story of Simon Nkoli, but there's an entire production that is both celebrating the music and the different forms of artistry to tell the story. You've got opera, you've got hip hop, there's voguing, there's protest music. You bring in video archive footage. I mean, you're using all these different artistic forms. That's the word I was looking for. And that sounds incredible.
Well, I mean, we're drawing in. Firstly, I wanted really, again, for young people to connect to really a production that kind of combines, as you say, opera, video, all of these elements, which we kind of used to today. And it's part of our world, the visual, the audio, but also to work with, genres that in some ways even connect to Simon. Simon actually loved disco. And initially when I was composing the music, I thought I might write a lot of it with a kind of in a disco form. But I then thought about young people today and what they're drawn to. And of course, hip hop, rap. We're working with a fantastic young rapper, writer, and performer today, Jaya, who will be literally on stage just wowing the audiences. We've got really, as you say, the audio archive. Again, how do you reimagine archive? This has been something that I think South African artists have been at the forefront of thinking about our own stories during apartheid. And I thought, well, bring it alive by using lip sync, which is kind of a part of a celebration of queer art, is to do the whole lip sync. But instead of lip syncing to Beyonce, you're lip syncing to really, from Madiba, from Nelson Mandela, all the way through to the great Judge Edwin Cameron. They're all part of it. Their voices are in the show.
Madiba striking a pose. That'll be something. It's on at the UJ Arts and Culture Centre. 2 dates only, the 12th and the 13th of June 2026. And it's called Ngoli Returns, celebrating a freedom fighter's fierce legacy. And Philip Miller is the creator and composer. Thank you for your time, Philip.
And here they come, yes, our supermodels slaying the runway, slaying, yes, in UDF garments, dress for success, courtesy.
That is part of the music of this fantastic production. You can get your tickets at Quicket. Make sure you see it. It's on the 12th and 13th of June. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. We start with news just in. Controversial Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim has filed another application to have his testimony before the Madlanga Commission postponed. The application will be heard this morning when the Commission resumes its hearings. Karim was due to testify on the 29th of April, but this was postponed to a later date due to his ill health.